Let's race. A huge group of horses all together in the final seconds. Here comes Lexicon trying to get to the wire. Bojack's right there. Jeff Slaughter. Jeff Slaughter making foul. Sammy Calmer moving forwardly. And we have our final. Wow. Fanatical Jim trying to make a move. Skunt Blaster. Zoe Faye. Oldie moving up the inside. BT trying to get to the wire. Who will get to the wire? Will Big O get there? Justin McKelvey with Blake Bush.
BT, Big O, and Justin McKelvey.
Kelly McInnes trying to find the finish line. Can Kelly McInnes change the
Kelly?
No! Kelly, no!
Oh my God, Kelly! The run for $100.
Woo!
It's a beautiful time here. Crystal Craig taking an early lead in the front, but no one's showing their cards yet. Pushing Nunya and Jeff Slaughter just lying in wait, Jimmy. Just lying in wait.
All of the horses within 3 lengths of each other. Who's going to take it home? Who has late pace? They're all lined up here. Justin McKelvey moving forwardly. BT has it right now alongside Nunya. Juan Ruiz right there. $100 up for grabs. Who's going to get the carrot? 6 seconds left. It's all coming down to this. Big O making the move. Crystal Craig making the move. No, Jeff! Wow.
$150 on the line next Thursday. My God.
Introducing PubCoin. PubCoin is the rewards program for pub sports contributors. Regular chat contributors share their play of the day, POD, in the YouTube chat, including the phrase POD in their message. At the end of the week, the amount of units earned are converted into PubCoins. PubCoin can be used as reward points for prizes, shop discounts, and contests.
We are back! The 3rd annual Pub Sports Radio Cappers Contest is ready for registration. 5 picks each week against the spread, and we battle for cash.
All picks lock Saturday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Top 10% gets paid out at the end of the season. Sign up right now at pubsportsradio.com.
Congratulations to last year's champions, Guillermo Zertucci and Sharpie, who were tied atop the leaderboard. But Jose, why don't we hear from our inaugural champion, Peter Loshak?
Yeah, last year, before the season started, Slaughter called me. He was like, could you not win it this year? And I was like, Jeff, anything. You don't even have to think about it. You know what I mean? So I did that. He hasn't called me so far this year.
Okay.
If he does, I'm not going to win it. If he doesn't, all bets are off, pal.
Oh, I like it.
All bets are off if I don't get that call. You know what I mean?
Wow, Pete. Thanks for your generosity.
I can't wait. September 5th. Thursday night is game 1, but your picks have to be in by Saturday night at 9 p.m. Eastern. We battle for infamy. We battle for the Cappers Contest Pub Sports Radio Championship. Upgrade your membership to Gold. You will be automatically entered in every horse race, every Wednesday and Friday. It is time to race horses.
Shout out to the Gold members. And we're off. 2 minutes, 74 canals on this racetrack. It's wide. We're racing in San Antonio.
Matt Wally moving forwardly. Jeff Slaughter in the mix as well. And as is Randall Sheffield, who's put that beautiful nose out front.
But it's actually real grass here, Jimmy. Maybe Kentucky bluegrass here. Oh, look at Unwashed Allen bursting out here. The horses love it. Sometimes they stop and eat it on the way to the finish line. That's why your horses start so far in the back. J-Dub in the mix. Rude Boy up here as well. Jimmy, take it away.
There's Oldie. Oldie is moving to the front. We are past the halfway mark in our 2 mile. And there's Ricky Levy. 19 seconds left in the horse race here. It's Fernando Mendoza trying to find the wire. 14 seconds left. Can Fernando Mendoza take this home? Here comes Kenny Can. Kenny Can wants a piece of the pie. Keep Bobby. 9 seconds left. Can Donut Silks make a run? Can Red Small make a run to be $50?
Bouquett, you son of a bitch!
Here comes Tori Coker. Kenny Can smoking mirrors. Director 97 home. That is the way. Here comes Jason Meyer, the other auto custodian. Billy Friedrich. Joe's one all coming down with the advantage.
Coin! Where?
Oh no! And Fanatical Jim. Fanatical.
Get 'em, Jimmy, where Loshak at? The bottle's getting empty, I'm not cracking, we stacking. Chips, all of this, what I want, plus money winners, that's what I'm on. You can say I'm gone, I prefer elevated, pump sports radio. Time to get educated, Bouquett, produce, fade the juice, let loose.
What up, cappers, gamblers, punters, hustlers, low baggers? Oops, let me fix that right there. Look, wearing the Loshak shirt again. Only plus 0.95 units, but we're going to keep rocking it as we have winning days, which we so desperately need. We have a monster show today. MLB, NFL, CFL, college football. We're breaking down North Carolina and Minnesota a week from today. Daby Cab's got to move on that one. And then we close up shop with WNBA. But most importantly, for our gold members, $150 horse race to close up the show today. The richest horse race in pub sports radio history. What are we in Dubai? Are we in the United Emirates? $150 horse race. I love it. We're going to do heats. One capper gets $150. And you only need $100 to sign up for the cappers contest. Just $100 to sign up for the cappers contest and $100 for the survivor. That list is growing. We are getting more and more cappers involved. Exciting to be here with you guys today. Yesterday was middling, 3-2 plus 0.95 units. I didn't add the Tigers action when my bet got voided. I thought very hard of it. I beat myself up for 8 innings for not adding it. And then there was a meltdown in the 9th, and it saved me. Chicago White Sox, San Francisco, first 5 under 4 pushed. Who cares if you beat a line move that heavily? Colorado, Washington, first 5 under 4.5, lost by a half run. Tanner Gordon was bad. Mitchell Parker was excellent. The full game under cashed. I lost that by a half run. Twins plus 110 was easy money. Cincinnati, Toronto under 8.5 was a horrific decision. Phillies won, and Tampa Bay, Oakland under 7.5 won. So, whatever. Any day in the black is a good day. We're going to move forward here, expecting glory here. There's some great calls by the chat. Great calls from a lot of cappers yesterday. Let's go over to pubsportsradio.com, our website. We need a big banner, Swiggy, for the NFL contest. The UFC contest is open, and look, UFC contest, big deal. Big deal, $100 every week, and our guys are just crushing it, and it's a big deal. But we also need our cappers contest up there. We need a heading for that. Let's take a look at the highlights from yesterday. Troy Torrance off another big day. He's running so hot right now. Keep an eye on our friend Troy Torrance. Crystal Craig, she's crushing it. Both plays a day cash easily. Ron Crawford cashing both of his looks, Lynx plus 5.5, and the Phillies money line, which he got at plus money. That was part of his dog play day, even though it became the favorite. Wine Time Sports, a 2-0 day thing of beauty. Dapper Capper with Pepe over 50.5 outs, very easy. Clark Edge on the under 8.5, cashed it. Jose Bouquett with a winning day. Excellent work. Excellent work from our cappers in the chat. Shout out to all of you guys. Thank you for joining us. I'm coming back to life here, but I must stack another W and wear the Peter Loshak shirt again tomorrow. I must. It has to happen. I need to wear this Loshak shirt. I need to keep succeeding. Truth Teller in the house. Brewers Cards first 5 over 4 is his play of the day. He's also on Cards money line and Cards run line. Look at that. Sorry, let me move this over. It says Cards 18-4 on the run line as dogs. Truth Teller getting after it. Let's copy and paste all this. We have 10 games in MLB, which we will be starting with because we got afternoon action. We want to give you guys tons of time to set your plan of attack up. And then we go into the gridiron. We go into the gridiron, the Canadian gridiron, the American gridiron, professional gridiron, college gridiron. Can't wait to talk football, man. Can't wait to talk football. Also, clearly, anybody who looks at the Bears-Chiefs game goes, oh, the Bears are the play, the Bears are the play. So why is the line moving towards the Chiefs? Every article is on the Bears. Very easy to explain why anybody would be on the Bears. So why then? Why, I ask you, would the books be moving the line to the Chiefs? Very, very, very interesting game. I'm all over the CFL game tonight. All over it on the Rough Riders plus 3. Very excited about the game tonight. Stacks play today from Justin McKelvey is Ozuna over 1.5 bases at plus 108. Marcel Ozuna. Let's get that copied and pasted. I have made 3 bets on the MLB card today. Let's get that here popped and rolling. Justin McKelvey in business. Truth Teller Paul Skeens to record a win at plus 145. Let's get that up here. Skeens to record the dub in Reds Pirates. Reds have to come back down from Canada. They might find things a little more difficult in Pittsburgh. Hard to be down 6-0 and be live for a comeback. Hope somebody hit that live. Pig Milk Play Day. Rockies first 5 money line plus 105 for our guy Billy Friedrich. Look, you had faith in a 38-year-old pitcher, and he didn't let you down. It was just sticks weren't alive. Sticks were very quiet there. Let's grab your Rockies action. Rockies, Nats, Quantrill, first 5. I was so thankful that line moved from 8.5 to 9, so I could just let go of any thought of an under with 2 pitchers that I kind of like. William Contreras over 1.5 bases for Crystal Craig. Crystal Craig been cashing all week. Crystal Craig hot. Keep an eye out for Crystal Craig plays of the day. It is Contreras today over 1.5 bases. Brewers Cards. That's the game that Truth Teller is all over. It's a very fishy line yesterday with the Brewers and the Cards, and then Arenado, of course, with the walk-off. Yanks Guardians first 5 under 4.5. His only action so far. I'm interested in that. I am on the Yanks -1. Now, Jose perfectly timed the Yankees run line yesterday. I might be, a day late and $1 short on that one, but I did move on the Yankees. Action Jackson, we got the nuke worker in the house. Says, Jose, hope you are feeling better. Jose's been battling through COVID to be here each and every day. This man is riddled with COVID. Stinks. You can tell through the camera the stank on our friend Jose Bouquett. Action Jackson ready to get to work. Panger Life. Jared Bush is definitely going Cards money line. Yanks under 8 and over in the Rockies Nats thus far for Jared Bush. Let's get that copied and pasted from our friend Jared in business. In business. Ron Crawford, play of the day. Dog is the New York Metropolitan. So one thing I'm doing, and I love this opportunity. It was expensive. Very costly. But I am fading both pitchers who threw complete games at home. and are now going out on the road. I'm fading both of them. So I'm fading Luis Severino, and I'm fading Christopher Sanchez, but I'm only doing it in the team total variety at this point. That's it. Just team total variety. I have the Padres team total over 3.5. I have the Braves team total over 3.5. They were expensive. I've done it. We'll see how it bangs out. And look at that. Nuker says if he wins the race today, he's going to throw it back in the pot. Look at that. Nuki trying to set up the $200 race. See, I think what you guys should do, even though it's very, very kind of you, Nuker, is take that $150 and sign up for the Cappers contest. The Cappers contest is coming soon. And we have the Cappers contest show. Let's start with that. The Cappers contest show. Jose and I will be hosting every Thursday. Every Thursday, 3 p.m. Eastern, the Cappers contest show. We will have our own Circa Millions ticket for Pub Sports Radio that we hope to deliver. But yes, the Cappers contest. Sign up and battle. Go for glory. I can't wait. Of course, our inaugural champion, Peter Loshak, and last year's dual champions, Sharpie and Guillermo Zertucci. Exciting stuff. Please join us. Joey Marinaccio says, greetings, fam. Nice catcher last night. Beautiful call on Pepio. Joey Marinaccio, the dapper capper. AOD in the house. Wine Time Sports ready to get to work. And there's Swiggy with the $100 UFC contest live. Serious business. God, every time I see serious business, I know we're ready to get paid. NJ Striker ready to go. Raymond Reichart in the house. BT and Nuke's Gamma Ray play today. Ooh, I love it. I love it. Rough Riders +3 for Nuke. I'm right with you, Nuke. I'm right with you. I thought that I wanted you to get the 3. Don't get me wrong. But when I got that 3 at Pinnacle at -111, I was thinking this shouldn't stay here. It should not stay here. I can't wait for that football game tonight. And of course, I'm on the over 9.5 wins on the Argos. So going 5-4 without the most outstanding player. But I do think they lose tonight. Mally Mal in the house. Viper NB. Great to see you. There's Cheshire Cat with the $5 dono to bless our action and get us rolling. DC Capper saying signing up for the Cappers contest today. I love it. Action Jackson, Daniel Hernandez, Danny Dog play today up 9 units. He's on the New York Mets money line too. So the Dogs liking the Severino-led Mets. You know, Cease hasn't been that good over the last couple starts. They've been on the road. Razor Sharp Pick says Cappers contest make the final time dinner pick Sunday morning. Says not everyone has their bets by Saturday night. Yeah, it works for different. I see what you're talking about, Razor. For us though, as we compete with each other, we want to be able to see everybody's action. I get very excited about Saturday night late to see who's on what and think about it, and it helps me with my action. It's just about competing with each other. It may not be the easiest way to bet. I hear you. But it is the easiest way for us to have a lot of fun because we get to see everybody's action the night before, and it helps just competing. But I hear you, Razor. It's not perfect. New Quirker says he's already in the contest. There's Mikey Money in the house. Says Jose looks so tall in that picture. George Wood says, if I win the race, I donate all to Pub Radio. Look at George. Look at you guys. Thank you for your support. It means a ton to us. We cherish the opportunity to cap with you guys each and every day. Look at this. Nuke and George. A Boogie Maine in the house. We've missed you, Boogie Maine. It is great to see you. Ladybug, great to see you back in action with us. We have missed you. Ron Crawford, CFL play today is the Argos. -2.5. So we are going heads up with Ron Crawford. Not a comfortable place to be. But I'm so excited about fading Chad Kelly, who's not been with the team. His first practice was Sunday. This is not a regular situation where the quarterback is being sitting on the sidelines, helping whoever has replaced him. This is not. This is Chad Kelly, not known for being a studious young man, has been away from the team for a long time. We'll see. I mean, it's not a comfortable thing to be on the other side. Sancho, Angels, money line, Braves, Phillies, first 5 and full game over here. 9 legacy in the house. Philly, Eagle, Flyer, Reds, Pirates tied after the second inning. We've all been watching the legitimacy of that angle that you have. Philly, Eagle, Flyer. Let me make sure I've got all this copied and pasted here. $150 horse race. Let's go. Raymond Reichart says, think Cole has a strong start. The last time I said that, he got destroyed. Despite the leadoff home run by Torres, which I thought I was completely in business. He fell apart. And then I haven't been on him for 3 starts where he's looked great, which is sort of my problem this year. Late to the party, but always early for the funeral. Reds, Pirates here, Skeens, and Lodolo, who got lit up and smoked in his last start. That's going to be a fun breakdown. Mally Mal looking at the Nets. Mets nerfy. DC Capper says, had a bad day. Baseball sucks. Look, DC Capper, is winning days and losing days. We watch you destroy all the time, and we believe in you enormously. Goran Ninkowski, Steve Fehrenbach says, started 0-3, but hit the last 3 money lines. Phillies money line, Diamondbacks money line, Diamondbacks -1.5. Says, a little bit of profit better than losing day. Absolutely, absolutely. And Goran Ninkowski, we are finally on the same side, Goran. I've been waiting for this. Finally on the same side. Goran also with us on the Rough Riders. I'm pumped up for that game. Slatsy says he can smell me from here. Keep winning my guy on Rough Riders +3 and Rough Riders Argos over 49.5. I know there's a lot of sentiment in the gambling community that this game will go over due to how poor the passing defenses are for each team. But I will tell you this. Maybe it's a bias from fading Nathan Rourke and being so right, but it's not going to be that easy. It's not going to be that easy for Chad Kelly to just come in and deliver against the Rough Rider defense that I'm excited. Look, we're going to talk all about it. We're going to talk all about it. This is au natural, Dapper Capper. This is no washing of the shirt. Mally Mouse is on the bounce back. First Yankees first 5. Judge hit Yankees over 2.5 runs at +135. That is our first game on the docket. Troy Torrance already on the first 5 under 4.5. I love all of this. Goran Ninkowski, thank you for that $2 donut. When I get money. I get money with a $4.99 donut. Thank you guys. Blessing our action as we move forward. And look at who banging sports talk in the house. Is there another capper that brings more fun to our community than this man right here? Who banging in the house is excited for college football. Expect to see me soon live from McBoss Burgers with a fresh pair of saggy bits. Oh, we love you. We love you. It is great to see you. We have new females of the older variety here, but we will play them at the right time. We will drop them at the right time. Yes, a lot of love for Jacqueline, a.k.a. Ladybug, in the house, back in business right now. It is great to see all of you guys. UPK Ayash Yala says, what it do? Okay, minor setback yesterday, but so damn close on the first 5. Parlay took the Nats first 5 under 4.5. Should have taken them straight up. Yeah, that was my fault. I'll take the blame for that. Cole, 5 or more Ks. Judge, Homer, Soto, 2 or more hits and 2 or more bases, and the money line for our guy, Robert Cherry. Let's get that locked in here right under Mally Mal's action, right above Troy Torrance's action. Gifted Cartel in the house. It's great to see all of you guys. Nice to have who banging, rocking with us. Brad Oliver in the house. And Razor Sharp Pick says, Travers show this Saturday. It's such a fun lineup. I don't know what to do with Torpedo Anna right now. I'd like to fade, basically. Like the fader, but that's a very dangerous thing to do. Mal says, was thinking of fading Lodolo. DC Capper says, really like the over in the Bears game. I can't wait to talk about that one. And Brad Oliver says, can we do multiple entries for the Survivor? No, it's just one entry, my friend. Just one. Just uno. Just Uno. I was a proud champ of last year. It helped very much. Joey Marinaccio says, meet in Saratoga for Travers. Got to make it happen one of these years. I don't know necessarily about Saratoga. I don't know necessarily about Travers. I think I'm getting old. I don't love the enormously important race days as much as I used to. I kind of like the quieter ones. But Lake George next year, I've got that locked. We're going to go for at least 4 days minimum. And I'm going to hit Saratoga every day. So I'll be in touch with everybody as to when that bangs out. Action Jackson says, time to smash. Ron Crawford moving in KBO SSG Landers. It is time to get to work. Great to see Brad Oliver rocking with us, man. Brad Oliver, the real deal. Red Girl coming off a 5-1 day as well. It's great to see all you guys. So let us get to work, my friend. Let's welcome a man who's been fighting the good fight, riddled with COVID. I mean, riddled with COVID. And yet he shows up and he's got a little bit of edge to him. And I like it. I really like this edge that he's had these last couple of days. And he has been delivering the goods. Please welcome from San Antonio, Texas. Not feeling well, sweating, stinking, but winning. Please welcome Jose Bouquett to the telecast. Jose, how are you, my friend?
Jimmy, I'm doing better, actually. Doing better. I can't complain. I'm still sweating out of every orifice I have, especially my hands, obviously.
Whoa! Look at Skunt Blaster. Whoa! Look at our guy, Cody. Wow. $49.90. I don't mean to interrupt, but look at Skunt Blaster coming in, sharing glory. What a guy. What a friend of the channel. $50. Don't know, from our guy, Skunt Blaster. Man, well, now I want him to win the $150 for the horse race today. What a guy. McCartney, Kessler, money line at -115 in tennis for Skunt Blaster. Skunt Blaster, we thank you and we love you. Sorry to interrupt, Jose. $50 dono. More important than how you're feeling.
No, it's true. It's fact. Shout out to you, Skunt. But we're all right. We're sweating. I think we can confirm this statement right here today. This is the stinkiest sports betting show you'll watch all week with the two hosts. So shout out to us.
Respect. Cheshire Cat as well with $1.49 dono. Thank you guys so much. This is just very special. You guys are a special group, caring very much about the channel. We must deliver, Jose. We must deliver.
Hey, look it up. Wait, winning days for both of us last 2 days. Big or small, it was good.
Yes. Yes. And look at Cheshire, multiple. And then Goran and Kofsky says, KP tomorrow. I hate big races. You'll see all the once-a-year people when I was there. Yes, tomorrow is the King's Plate. It was canceled on Saturday after 5 races. They canceled the card.
Wow, how lame.
Yeah, it would. Well, no, it's fine. I mean, who cares? Well, it's going to affect Justin Trudeau's day. I mean, who cares? Who cares? Look, a bunch of fair weather thoroughbred fans have to dress up for no reason, go home early. Who cares? But I'm excited. So that is tomorrow night. That's at 6:18 p.m. Eastern. And my action's ready to go. I'll share it with you guys tomorrow. BJ with Nationals money line. Look at all this love from everybody. It means so much to us. Thank you, Goran. Cheshire. Skunt Blaster with a $49.99 dono. I get money. Thank you. You guys just it's very, very we care very much about it. Let me just say that. It's very, very meaningful what you guys are doing. Newgler says, imagine a stench of you two if you were in the studio at Southtown 101. At the studio in Southtown 101, I often say to Jose, tell me if I stink. Because when I get into the soup, I lose track of my stench.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
Yeah.
That is true. Those are only facts. Today would be one of those days where I'd be telling you to smell me.
Yes, it would. Boogie Main, now a member of Weeby Pub and Butt. Is he a gold member of Weeby Pub? And my dude coming off a 3-2 day. Because Boogie Main, I ask you this because $150. You know what that is for our Canadian cappers here? Let me.
No, it's probably like 1,000. I don't know.
No.
I can
this is more-
make these jokes because I'm from Venezuela and I get those jokes all the time. So those are the things that we can do.
150 American for our Canadian cappers is $204 Canadian.
I mean, come on. How can you guys not want to be in this? Like I said yesterday, I expect at least 5 new gold members here today. At least $150 on the line. You guys can't sign up. $9.99 a month, you sons of bitches. Come on.
I am playing to beat my boy Prince Gorninkowski, but I have, with some discomfort, included him in the try. My try box. So, but yes, my boy Prince, and that was backed up also by our friend Dennis Garcia. Can you guess the term Dennis Garcia has for the favorite in the King's Plate, my boy Prince?
No, he's probably a rat.
That's exactly who.
Yeah.
Dennis has called a rat. My boy Prince is called a rat. There's occupancy in the house. Going to be talking pucks here shortly, and we roll on here, but you're feeling better, Jose.
Yeah, I'm all right now. I mean, I only sound a little nasally, but Helga tells me all the time that I have a nasally voice and I sound like Lois Griffin anyways. So what's the difference?
Lois Griffin.
Yeah, I get that quite frequently from her, Helga.
I'll keep that in mind. Let's get to work, my friend. No, Kong's Clips coming in for $150. Kong's Clips. Boogie Mate wants $150. Love that Grizzlies.
Come on.
Emblem. Look at this. We're upgrading memberships to PSR Gold. We are doing heats. If we can get up to 80, I'd love 4 heats of 20.
Yeah, we have 4 heats right now, so that's very
we'll
nice.
we're
at 80. We're at 80 currently right now with those.
Nice. We've had 80 gold members. Nice. I love that.
Jesus Christ. $150 American dollars is just so much money in Venezuela. It is so much money. You could go to Venezuela, buy yourself a palatial estate right there on the beach, and enjoy a country that is blossoming and taking down a tyrannical dictator.
Yes. And a chance that you might return.
There's definitely a chance. Definitely a chance.
All right. Jarek White in the house. Skeens over 4.5 hits. Skeens has not looked as dominant of late, and at home he's not looked as dominant. That is game 5 on our card. I've got that copied and pasted. So one more time, $150 up for grabs in today's horse race. There's Big Show picks in the house. Star of the Locker Room podcast, rolling with us. Big year for Detroit Lions fans. They are very hopeful, extremely hopeful. You are muted, my friend. All right.
Oh, and there we go. I just said he avoided an injury earlier with Panay Sewell, only just an ankle sprain. So there's your first bullet dodge there, Big Show. Good luck.
Ford Field will be jumping.
Helga really likes them as well. I've been showing Helga a lot of football, documentaries recently to get her into fantasy football mode. She likes the Lions.
Jarek White is going to go ahead and shoot his horse up with the juice. He's got a cocktail that he's got.
You should.
For him.
And that's the great thing about our horse races, Jimmy. Juice up your horses all you want, as long as they make it to the finish line. We don't care.
They have to live long, healthy lives. If there is something that goes wrong with the horse, we take it out on the trainer.
Okay, fair enough. Shout out to Bob Afford.
All right, let's get to work. And truly, thank you to our new PSR Gold members, Boogie Main, Kong's Clips. Thank you so much to the donos. They mean so much to us.
It's a great way to start the show.
Cheshire Cat, and a monster dono from our friend, the Skunt Blaster.
Shout out to you, Skunty, my man. I'm still trying to think of what a skunt looks like, trying to make a graphic for him. I've thought about it for a while now.
I know exactly what it looks like.
By the way, Jimmy, I noticed you didn't mention that the Wings are apparently going to have a big year too, according to the Big Show.
I mean, any team run by Steve Yzerman will get better year after year after year. I've not been enamored with some of the decision making of the prawns and the canes and that stuff. I don't find shifty little hockey players. I don't shifty little hockey players that don't go into the dirty areas. Shifty aging. I mean, it's just everything is I don't love, but it's hard not to believe in Stevie Y. Hard not to believe in Stevie Y. Billy Friedrich says, got to cut up those new gold members at some point, just dropping in when the money gets up to 150. No, man. We want them in. We want them in.
Billy.
No,
we want them all in.
With open arms, man.
Bill, the Sweaty Butcher. Come on in, Sweaty. The water's fine.
Oh, yeah. It's really nice in here. 9 Legacy says Montreal in the house. I love it. 9 Legacy. Respect. And
Jimmy, could you let me know if that's a gold membership from the Sweaty Butcher as a StreamYard doesn't let us know?
That is a gold membership from the Sweaty Butcher. Sweaty Butcher wanting that money. I love it. Sweaty Butcher being with us for a long time. He's a quality as quality gets, man.
Speaking of the Sweaty Butcher, I know he'll appreciate this. Was going through my apps yesterday, just looking at bets to see NFL futures. What's interesting, what's not. It's not a future price I love it, but Aaron Rodgers plus 120, comeback player of the year. Lock me in. That's cashing, no problem. Jets are gonna win the division this year. We're gonna make the playoffs for the first time in God knows when. We're gonna break the longest streak of a playoff drought in professional sports. Aaron Rodgers is going to win that shit. Plus 120. Take that to the fucking bank.
Sweaty Butcher loves it too. The deadline for the Cappers contest, I'm writing it right here, is Saturday, April 6th. April. What the hell's wrong with me? Saturday, September. Jesus.
April.
September.
And yes, Al, it's definitely not my favorite thing to do and bet when you've got like a plus 120 for a future. But luckily for me, it makes it a lot easier. But it's just hilarious to me. The only other two guys I'd be worried about is Burrow and Cousins. But I believe in Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, Burrow, you're right. I guess I didn't.
Burrow's the second guy. He's plus 240. Aaron Rodgers plus 120. Cousins plus 450. Razor, I hope that you have the same shit that happened to me last year, Razor. So you fucking know what that feels like, Razor. It'd be a real shame. It'd be a real fucking shame.
Oh, for young Jordan Love. I mean, because it was when you have 40-year-old legs, it's something that you might expect to happen when you roll back.
I disagree. It didn't happen to Tom Brady.
No, you're right. But
it didn't happen to Brett Favre.
But Tom Brady wasn't doing hallucinogenics all summer to prepare for the football season. He was actually training and eating avocados.
Who says that hallucinogenics make your joints less stable and more brittle? Brett Favre was busy sending pictures of his dick to women, and he fucking was fine.
Hallucinogenics keep you out of the gym.
Who's to say? Who's to say?
All right, let's get to work. Nuclear says, looks like old Jose's back. Yes, it looks like you have a little more energy. I like it.
A little bit. And I'm still a little bitter berry. So if I see my guy again, I'll give him the 5-minute sussy if he keeps talking that bullshit again, Jimmy. So I'm ready. I'm ready to cash today. I'm ready to fade Luis Severino with you. It's going to be a great day.
Yeah, I'd like to do some more fading of those spots, but I could have waited. I don't know exactly because it was sort of moving towards the under. I didn't necessarily need to move when I did.
What are you doing, Razor? That's my quarterback too, Razor. Brett Favre's my guy too. He's not just yours. Brett Favre is one of my guys.
Saturated hour focus. For Poker Narrow is Friday the 30th, which we hope to confirm tomorrow. We don't have time to get it ready here for tomorrow, and we apologize for that.
Bet online, really.
Let's get to work, my friends. We start at 1:05 p.m. Eastern with Cleveland Guardians 73 and 53, 35 and 33 on the road at New York Yankees 74 and 53, 33 and 28 at home. Just 5 games over 500 in Yankee Stadium in the Bronx. We have action from Cappers in the chat. We have Mally Mal. Yankees first 5. Judge hit. Yankees over 2.5 runs. Puts that together at plus 135. We have Cole over this. This was let me get this here. I think this was my dude's action. I don't have it. God, I think this is my dude. My dude, correct me if I'm wrong though. I don't have the names on here, but Cole 5 or more Ks, Judge homer, Soto 2 or more hits, 2+ bases, and money line is the SGP for my dude. Troy Torrance is on the first 5 under 4.5 at minus 115. That's his only action, and I'm on the Yankees -1 at minus 120. We got Justin McKelvey on the Wells RBI, Wine Time Sports on the Yankees on the run line, Mexican Elvis on the Guardians run line, Action Jackson also on the Yankees. Let's get that all copied and pasted here. Okay, let's roll. Gavin Williams against Garrett Cole. Let me move this up. Garrett Cole has looked quite a bit better the last few starts, but I seem to only back him when he buckles. Last start, 6 innings, 4 hits, no earned runs, 8 Ks, 2 walks, and 3-0 win at the Tigers. We know the Tigers are scuffling with the sticks. Gavin Williams, 2-5, 5.02 ERA, but he's shone on the road. Now, he did not look good in his last start at the Brewers. His numbers were ridiculous on the road. So, obviously there's some regression to the mean. He went 4 innings, 6 hits, 5 earned runs, 1 homer, 5 Ks, 2 walks, and a 5-3 loss at the Brewers. On the road, 2-1, 2.49 ERA, 198 opponent's batting average, and 1 home run. That home run was last start at the Brewers, and 5 of those earned runs happened there. Guardians versus righties since August 1st, just 218, 653 OPS. Yankees versus righties, 270, 817 OPS. Guardians bullpen, 3.58 ERA, 1.13 whip. Yankees bullpen, 4.50 ERA, 1.47 whip. Let's get this rolling here. Let me get the weather and let me do a quick refresh of the weather. This has been on my computer for a very long time. We have 77 Fahrenheit at first. We have 76 Fahrenheit at first pitch, 11.2 miles per hour out to right field, out to that short porch. 11.2 miles per hour to right center. Right center. I guess it's not that short out there. 11.2 down to 10.9. Let's get into the line history here for this one. Move over here. Sorry, I got football up. That move towards the Chiefs is perplexing. I mean, with every single person on the Bears, every article on the Bears, a very, very fascinating spot here. But let's roll. So we have the Yankees right now at minus 182. Now, I could have got the -1 at a cheaper price. I was just waiting to see the move. This opened up at minus 159 at 5:22 p.m. And I know what happens when a big favorite doesn't move at all and all the money's on them. So I waited. And there was not a move until a little after midnight, 4 cents of movement. And then it came back at 1:39 a.m. There'd been a 1 cent move to the Guardians. At 3:07 a.m., they're still sitting there with a 1 cent. It was at 4:16 a.m. they started moving towards the Yankees. And it was enough for me. It was enough for me. And it's not a disrespect or thinking that Gavin Williams is going to get touched. It's more that I'm waiting for Garrett Cole to step up. Alec Manoah calls him the greatest cheater in Major League Baseball history is Garrett Cole. So maybe he needs the sticky stuff to be elite. There's been a 1 cent move to the over. Just a 1 cent move to the over. And when we get to the cash flow, we have 87% of the tickets and 93% of the cash on the Yankees, but now we have an over 20 cent move towards them. So I'm comfortable there. We have 95% of the tickets and 94% of cash on the over. 95 and 94 to the over. And it hasn't moved. Take it away for us here, Jose Bouquett, Guardians, Yankees.
Yeah, I think I know I'm staying off this game. It was nice being able to time that run line yesterday, just because of how shitty they played, and it's just one of the worst played games they had. So it was nice to time that up. Honestly, at this big price again, you know what's crazy? The Nestor Cortez line got up to minus 180, and they're giving us a cheaper price to bet the Yankees here with probably objectively better pitcher with Garrett Cole. A little sketched out for me. So that's why I was thinking Guardians are past. Gavin Williams is good enough for me to back him here, but I don't know. The market really wasn't jiving with me. I was hoping that, to give me some sort of weakness for Garrett Cole, but, it opened up at minus 168. It's getting up to minus 180 now, actually. So
Yeah, I just stayed off. It's just a little bit too juice for me on the Yankee side, and the market's not jiving with me on the underdog.
I think this will be minus 200 at first pitch.
Yeah, that would be probably makes sense, and that's probably where I would open. Honestly, that's probably what I should think the line should have opened up at.
The issue has been, I think part of the problem yesterday was the Guardians pitcher, and if we've seen what Gavin Williams has done on the road, I was surprised it was minus 159. I had a different line. So then from Bet Online, there was a 9-cent move to the Guardians at first.
I had this opened up at minus 168. And then it went down 10 cents, kind of 10 cents immediately in 10 minutes, and then climbed back up to minus 164 a few hours later. 7 hours later, not even a few. But yeah, so then it got up to minus 160, and it's been climbing ever since this morning. So now minus 180, essentially at Bet Online.
Well, I think this will end up at minus 200. Let's just see what's going on at Bet 365 with this line. Minus 190.
I mean, this is the Yankees should bring their A shit here because this is another division leading team. Again, they played a horrible game the other day, and I just think they could win this division. Like they really could win the AL East, and honestly, I think they should, and I hope they do.
I don't see how they won't if the Orioles bullpen continues to play the way they have. I don't see how they won't.
It's so frustrating that you can just go from the beginning of the year and say the entire year that the Orioles bullpen is not going to be good, it's going to hurt them, and they don't do jack shit to do anything about it. Fucking Craig Kimbrell, horrible decisions. That's just, but yeah.
What are your thoughts on this total? I see Troy on the first 5 under 4.5. I see that there's only been 10 cents of movement on the full game towards the under, but this is a heavily
all the money on the over. So yeah, I'd agree. Under would be my play if I had anything.
They brought it down to 4, but it was a real 4 when they first brought it down at 10:43 a.m. But that's moved 10 cents in 49 minutes. 51 minutes at this point. This opened up under 4 at minus 120. Now up to minus 1, then got to minus 130 and went to. So what's keeping you off of that?
Not enough movement, and the fact that it feels like my totals recently, we could track the line movement in the market, but these totals still fly over for whatever reason. I mean, yesterday, great example. All the money on the over, I believe, yesterday. We bet the under, line movement down, fucking flies over.
That closed at 8.
Yeah, so that's why I'm like, you know what? Fine. I'll stay off totals a little more at the end of the season because the market has not been driving with me. That's why I've been staying with money lines a lot more, honestly. Like a perfect example, the Red Sox game yesterday, it was 30 cents of movement, and it just that's just green flashing lights, and the Red Sox obviously win. It's just those. I don't feel like those don't happen as much money line as they do with totals if you go down a full run or whatever it may be.
All right, let's roll on. That is game 1, Yankees, Guardians. I'm on the Yankees minus 1. I feel like there is a sign from the books that they're uncomfortable with the number. We'll see how it bangs out. I got minus 120 on the minus 1. At the time, it was, if I had have sent it in, it would have been minus 127 at 365. That's moved, obviously, because at that time, it was minus 180 and plus 120. Now it's minus 190 and plus 105. That's a big move. I can understand BJ saying it's very public and it's too public. I can fully understand that. But this is a big move now. The books are showing concern. So,
I mean, and Troy obviously let us know, but this is cash cow adjacent. I mean, home team, the total, I don't remember if it's 7.5 or 8 where the total gets too low.
I think Troy, it's under 8.5.
Yeah, so I don't remember exactly, but this is, cash cow adjacent. It's all the money on the one side. And we've seen cash cows cash a lot recently, especially, and those are very public spots as well. And I hate betting those public spots too, but they definitely cash.
Let's move on. Next up for us, 1:05 p.m. Eastern with the Colorado Rockies, 47-80, 18-47 on the road. At the Washington Nationals, 57-70, 29-33 at home. A lot of football talk in the chat, and I love it. I love it. A bankroll blitz returns in 5 days for our futures episode 1 of season 2 of Bankroll Blitz with Troy Torrance in 5 days.
Yep, don't miss it. It's going to be fun.
I've not moved on any futures yet.
That's what hopefully the show is for. This is going to be a good one.
You know, I really want to be forced into a future. I put myself in kind of a dangerous situation with the amount of NFL futures last year, and I'm trying to kind of get away from that. But
yeah, I mean, like I said, I looked at futures last night, and I was just, Jets obviously primarily plus 170 to win the division. Very interesting, but 3 teams all at plus 170, plus 180 to win a division is very interesting.
The division's so exciting. It's the most fun division in football.
That's why I'll be obviously tuned in. I think the Dolphins are fraudulent, but we'll see. It'll be Bills, Jets, I think.
Let's roll into Rockies, Nats. We have Gifted Cartel on the Rockies, Wine Time Sports on the Nats.
What an interesting line movement in this game. Gigantic.
We have Rogers over 1.5 bases for Justin McKelvey. Why don't you get right into the line movement and hit us with it?
Sure. So the line movement, this opened up, according to our friends at Bet Online, minus 115 Washington Nationals. And as you can see on the screen, up to minus 145 here for the Washington Nationals here. So I couldn't believe it. Like, it was just, and the line just kind of took off, and it was barely any movement backwards. Like, you got to minus 118 twice, but quickly just got up to 24, then 30, then 40, now 45. And that's just nuts to me with Patrick Corbin on the bump. And even crazier, everyone's betting them. 75% of the bets, 93% of the money on the Washington Nationals here. So I'm like, the red flags are out. And I'm just like, was Cal Quantrill, is that forearm strain going to come back and bite him in the ass in this start? He pitched well in his last one. The total has not even moved either at all. Bet Online minus 120 opener to the over is now minus 119 to the 8.5. So,
but that doesn't tell the whole story with the total, because this went up to 9. It went up to 9 this morning. It actually first moved up to 9 at Pinnacle 11:52 p.m. And this was a legit 9, minus 102 to the over, minus 110 to the under until 7:53. It comes back to 8. And then it goes back to 9. Again, this was a 9 up until 10:46 a.m.
Yeah, and I think that's all interesting because, obviously everyone should know this by now, 76% of the bets, 80% of the money on the over. So it's not like 99, but still, majority of the bets on that over. It's a fascinating game that I have not bet yet, and I don't think I will. All that money and bets on the Nationals and, just steaming towards Patrick Corbin, I find very fascinating. And I'll tell you this, the Rockies, we can predictably say they're not good against lefties here. Let's start since this month, the 1st to the 22nd, the Rockies 25th, 77 weighted runs created plus and 255 plate appearances as well, by the way. So it's obvious that they've got plenty of lefties and they are not hitting them. Full season, they're 80 weighted runs created plus. So they're just doing right exactly what they would think along the line. So if there's anyone that Patrick Corbin is going to dice up, it seems like it's going to be this shitty Rockies lineup.
Yeah, I mean, this is a pretty clear sign from the market that the Nats are really, really live here. 75% of the tickets, 93% of the cash. I can understand a bit of a surprise that much money's on them. Cal Quantrill looked great in that last start. Thin air against a Padres team that's raking. That's all you can ask for is 5 innings and 3 earned runs, really. He's been better at home than he's been on the road. I think that's part of this. And another part of this is the Nats are raking against righties right now. 273, 770 OPS. I mean, absolutely rolling. Rockies versus lefties, just 254, 675 OPS. They have no power against them. That last start at the Phillies was a surprise. Another surprise about that last start was how early he was pulled. 4 1/3, 7 hits, 2 earned runs, 2 Ks, 2 walks. Any kind of slight sign of danger, they pulled him pretty early so that the Phillies couldn't load up on him as they had done to Mitchell Parker. So look, are we leaving the money on the table, not backing the Nats here? 77 Fahrenheit, 7.3 miles per hour left to right. Are we leaving money on the table? I mean, Hugh Jana says minus 145 Corbin. Why? Are we leaving money on the table, not moving on this? The DC Capper best bets on Washington.
I wouldn't bet them run line for obvious purposes. If I was going to bet this game, it would be money line, and it would be taking a lot of juice with a Patrick Corbin start that I would not want to do. So that is my reasoning why I'm not on it.
Yeah, I mean, I would have to take him on the -1 line, which wouldn't be enjoyable, but Anonymous says, everyone betting the Nats, that's why, just as public as the Yankees. I don't know. That's 12% is a pretty big number difference. 87% of the tickets on the Yankees, 75 on the Nats.
And at the very least, the lines dramatically move towards the Nationals here. Minus 115 to minus 150, I think is a little more dramatic than what the Yankees did. Like minus 60 to minus 190. I forget what it is now.
I mean, it's a pretty monstrous move.
I think you're taking more gamblers away from betting a team if you're moving it from minus 115 to minus 150 than you are from minus 160 to 90.
Yeah. I mean, I'd be comfortable taking him on the -1 line here. I just think this is such an enormous signal from the books.
It's funny. If you had gunned ahead and you asked me to pick between one of the -1s, it's 100% this one. And it's just hilarious to think about with Garrett Cole and the Yankees, and you're betting, and I would rather bet the Nationals with Patrick Corbin. I mean, obviously opponent matters, but it's just funny.
I mean, nobody wants to bet Corbin. So that's what makes this line move even more appealing. I'm certainly late to the party.
Yeah, and you say frequently that you don't like betting spots just based off line movement as well.
But this is not just based off line movement. The bullpen advantage is enormous. Rockies bullpen 5.38 ERA, 1.54 WHIP since August 1st. Nats bullpen looking excellent. 2.93 ERA, 1.27 WHIP. The Nats are raking righties since August 1st, 273, 770.
Yep. And by the way, I'll continue saying this. The Nationals are going to be a bet-on team next year. Next year, they're going to be a decent little squad that I think we'll make a lot of money on.
And shout out to Goran Ninkowski. Came to Canada at 6. I love it. I love it, Goran. Love capping CFL football with you, too. Hugh says Corbin is way too unpredictable to lay money on it. Oh, yeah, DC Capper. We talked about that. Saying BJ's also on it.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. I get it on all sides.
And Cheshire is saying the Leafs didn't do anything this year. Picking up Oliver Ekman-Larsson and Chris Tanev is just shocking by Trey Living.
I know how much you hate those guys.
I don't hate Tanev. I love him. But he's had so many miles on those legs. Oliver Ekman-Larsson I dislike very much. But just these two defensemen at this age against, I mean, it's just appalling. It's appalling that Trey Living would do that. It's appalling that Trey Living has a job after the atrocity that the work that he did in Calgary. This old man's network in the NHL is horrible. They need to get new blood in there. Mally Mal says Leafs will suck. I mean, I don't know if they're going to suck, but I'll certainly be on their season point total under. Okay, you know what? We'll see. This game is going to be on while our show is on. So we'll see if this was a horrible decision. But I'm going to move on to minus. Say what, my man?
I was going to say it'd be awesome if the Rockies scored first and we could bet the Nationals live. But if you're going to bet them now, then never mind.
Yeah. Anonymous says new blood like Kyle Dubas. Look, he was so terrible. But Kyle Dubas was just a fanboy. I mean, who brings in Wayne Simmons and Joe Thornton except someone my age who's a fan of those guys? You don't like Dubas is terrible, and now Spetz is the assistant GM, so at least Spetz is getting opportunity.
I can't wait for one of these. Some franchise is going to bring in some like famous gambling person that we all know in our circles to help them make these decisions. And that's going to crack open the door for gamblers to start joining front offices for them to understand. Like, hey guys, if we fucking bet money on this every fucking day, I think we fucking know what we're talking about.
Well, analytical gamblers have received those jobs. We've seen that, the analytics guys, because
Shout out to Harala Bob.
But let's roll on to the next game. I'm gonna get this in. So why don't you set up Brewers Cardinals? I find it a fascinating game. I'll be all ears, but I'm gonna send this in.
So obviously the Brewers were on a big win streak. They get it snapped yesterday. Shout out to the Cardinals, by the way. Your fun fact of the day: every team in the Cardinals organization that played yesterday won via the walk-off. Was very interesting. But let's talk about my friend Freddie Peralta here, who quietly will just keep on going under the radar, and no one ever talks about him. But is he a top 10, top 15 pitcher in the league? I think so. I think he's been solid. He's had 6-inning, 4 earned run performances against the Dodgers in his last previous start before that Cleveland start, where he went 6 innings, 1 earned run, 5 innings, 4 runs against the Atlanta Braves in a back-to-back before that Dodgers start. So honestly, I mean, those back-to-back 4 earned run performances, I can chalk up to the Dodgers team very good in a back-to-back outing against the Braves, which is always tough. So I'm not particularly concerned about his recent form. He's been solid. He's faced the Cardinals this year twice, 6 innings, 8 hits, 3 earned runs, and 6 shutout innings. Both are pretty early in the season, though, on the January, February, March, April, May, and May and the previous to that one I can't remember, apparently. So I just throw those starts out the window when it comes to like domination. We'll see how he does, because I think it's just when you get this deep into the season, it's obviously becomes a way different kind of scenario and almost like a brand new season. Now we've got Michaelis on the other side. He, last 3 starts, 5 earned runs against the Dodgers. I can be okay with that. He went against Kansas City at Kansas City, 4 innings, 5 earned runs, not good. Cubs, 4 innings, 4 earned runs at the Cubs, not good. He did okay against the Nationals, 6 innings, 3 earned runs. But it's funny, if you look up Miles Michaelis's, stuff plus and location plus, he'll be the top pitcher in location plus, meaning that he can put where he can put his pitches where he wants to put them. But his stuff plus is just not good enough, meaning that his stuff is not major league average. And if you throw your stuff where you want it to, it can still get crushed if it's not dancing and moving and fooling hitters. So it's going to be interesting to see how the markets react and think about this game, since both these pitchers have faced these teams twice, but early on in the season. 68% of the bets and 85% of the money is on the Brewers. We've gone from minus 119 to minus 126. It's gone up to minus 130 in other places as well. It's actually, I refreshed here, and about 5 minutes ago, it actually moved back down 2 cents to minus 124. So a little conflicting there. That's going to be interesting to talk about here. And totals wise, 96% of the bets, 97% of the money on the over. We've had 5 cents of movement to the over at Bet Online. Other places like Bookmaker had a 7.5, and now are showing 8s. Juice to the under still. And Heritage as well, also showing an 8, but they opened this up at an 8 as well. So that's fascinating to think about. I probably am going to stay off this game. Neither market side really pushes me in one direction. Yeah, I think the Brewers do bounce back and win here with Freddie, and Miles Michaelis, not a pitcher that I want to back this late in the season, honestly. But it's just not enough conviction to move on. So no action here for me. What did you think here, Jimmy? You're muted. You're still muted. Right, you're still muted. We've lost.
I'm so sorry. I was going off for Guillermo Zertucci. Last year's co-champion alongside Sharpie is back to defend his title. God, I love
Shout out
that.
to you.
Hugh says Peralta was minus 185 first meeting this season, now only minus 125. Funny to see no movement on the total. I was waiting for movement towards the Brewers, and it just happened now. Finally now, with 68% of tickets, 85% of cash on them. I don't know why. Michaelis too is so. Look, 96% of tickets, 97% of cash on the over, and this line hasn't moved, which would mean that you have to back Michaelis if you like the under, and that's a very difficult thing to do. Both bullpens are pitching well. The Cards aren't hitting righties at all. 233, 675 OPS. The problem is the Brewers versus righties 256, 808 OPS. But then we saw yesterday with this very fishy line, and my mistake was thinking that it was referring to Kyle Gibson having a good start. The Brewers had an advantage in every single facet of that baseball game, except they weren't at home. And, of course, the walk-off by Nolan Arenado. So it's a surprise. I see an advantage here in every aspect. Peralta's been better on the road than he's been at home. 3.66 ERA, 218 opponent batting average. Michaelis does have consecutive home starts, and this is an easier lineup than the Dodgers lineup. There's our guy Christopher Ing in the house. Says, any hopes of doing a Travers show for the big race of the summer? I wish that I could, but Razor Sharp Picks is doing one. I wish that I could, but I can't, Christopher Ing, unfortunately. But we will be back. I guess our next horse races will be the Breeders' Cup for us. So my dude says also Nolan hit a grand salami last night for the win. He's on fire. One of his plays is earning out over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. Great to see you, Christopher Ing, my friend. So, yeah, I mean, I'm going to be off of this. Crystal Craig's play today, she's running so hot, is Willie Contreras over 1.5 bases at even money. Yes, she'll be live, Chris. I'd love to bet the under with everybody on the over. I mean, it's inferring that you're going to see a nice start from Michaelis. At home, he's got a 6.53 ERA and a 289 opponent's batting average, and the Brewers have an OPS since August 1st over 800. I mean, why is this line not moving towards the Brewers?
It just seems like that number has to come down. There's just no way he can finish the year having a 6 ERA at home.
I don't feel I was watching this line so closely last night, this morning. I wanted to see a sign that they were uncomfortable with the Brewers, and that wasn't the case. This line went immediately towards the Cardinals. Not immediately. At 11:54 p.m., this was plus 102 and minus 111. So I look. I'm going to be off of the Brewers, and then I'm not going to be on the under anyways. So I'm off of this spot. Is there anything you're making official here?
Nope.
Okay, I didn't tweet. I made the bet, but I haven't tweeted out the Nats. So I'm going to tweet that out now. So why don't you set up Tigers, Cubs, which is really difficult without knowing who's going to be pitching. And Jerry Davis at 7.78 ERA last 4 starts. He's horrible. He is, but
I think that number has to come down. I just really do. Yeah. So we had Kenta listed yesterday. Doesn't go. I had Kenta listed today. I didn't believe it this time. So I was like, okay, well, we're going to see what happens this year or this time. And I'll wait until the show until we figure out who this pitcher is. And we have a confirmed primary for the Tigers in Brant Herter. Now, I'm sure everyone in the chat is asking the same question right now. Who is Brant Herter? Well, 7th round pick out of Georgia Tech. I know you love that, Jimmy. We got to list out where they're from in their draft round. This will be, well, he's not starting, but this is going to be his 5th appearance in the majors here. 3 2/3, 3 hits, 2 earned runs, 6 innings, 4 hits, 2 earned runs, 5 innings, 4 hits, 3 earned runs, and 3 shutout innings thus far. Those opponents, by the way, the Cubs, which he faced, he went 3 2/3 yesterday, apparently. So I don't feel like that is actually going to happen then as well. So RotoWire is telling us it's Brant Herter, but if he threw 3 2/3 innings yesterday, do we really?
Yesterday.
Yeah, then I don't believe RotoWire here.
I didn't even write down Herder's stats. I didn't believe it. So
Yeah.
I didn't even.
So that's the thing. Again, this is what makes all this stuff very interesting. Again, the books have listed Tyler Holton as the starter right
But
now.
he pitched yesterday too.
Yeah. So this is going to be a very interesting game wise for the Detroit Tigers. He threw only 1 1/3 yesterday, so I find it more believable that he can go.
But even if he goes, there's no way he goes over an inning after throwing 1 1/3 yesterday. So
Yes.
there shouldn't be too much statistical emphasis on him.
Yes, and the guys that are available in the Tigers bullpen, Faedo threw 35 on Tuesday, didn't throw yesterday. I have my doubts if he's available. Bo Brisky, Tyler Holden, Brandon Hanafy, all threw yesterday, 20 plus pitches. Brisky threw 32, so I don't know if they'll be available. That leaves us with Shelby Miller, who threw 19 yesterday, or on Tuesday, excuse me. Joey Wentz, who only threw 10 yesterday, and my guess, is going to be the long guy, Jason Foley and Will Vest. So the Tigers are seemingly putting it together here versus obviously Justin Steele, who is, Cubs ace. We all know that our guy Troy Torrance likes to back him here. I didn't have a line for this earlier. I have minus 193 for Tyler Holton on the bump on the other side. So I just typically don't want to back any team that's minus, 200-ish. Honestly, I will mention that Justin Steele's last outing was on the 17th, and it was only 2 innings, 8 batters faced. I don't know why that was.
That was
Okay,
rain,
yeah.
remember? And Bassett came back, but he didn't.
Yes. Yeah, so there's that, and that didn't make sense because injury-wise, Justin Steele's a little more fragile. 6 innings, 6 hits, 1 run unearned against the White Sox, and 6 2/3, 4 hits, 2 earned runs against the Cardinals. So last 2 starts, I should say, have been good. He got touched up against against the Reds on the 30th of last month, but has been solid this month. It's just a tough game to bet, obviously, with little to no information on the Tigers. The Cubs are the big favorites, so I stayed off. Market-wise, we'll see how much information we can get from this alleged sharp action on the Tigers with only 18% of the bets and 42% of the money on the Tigers. So that's interesting in its own right. This line has, I really don't think we can really trust the line movement here. Line has been out since 8 a.m. and we've gone, 3 cents of movement towards the Cubs, going down to minus 180 at one point. But again, I find take it all with a grain of salt, I should say. 98% of the bets and money on the over in this game as well. And we have not had a total movement. Minus 120 to the over 7.5 at Bet Online, and is still there now.
We have had movement at Pinnacle. This opened up at 7.5, now at an 8. It is minus 115 to the under. Opened up at 7.5. Now, Pinnacle didn't open up this line till 8:51 a.m. It didn't take long to get to 8. So that first move was towards 8. It stayed at 8. It's not as drastic as you would think because, it's now juiced to the under. It was juiced to the over. But yeah, nothing's appealing here. I mean, the Tigers don't hit lefties, so you can imagine that Justin Steele's going to have a good start. The weather's nice, about 75 Fahrenheit, the wind blowing right to left, about 8 miles per hour. It stays around that number. But the idea that this would immediately move to the over, it's Hinch trying to play mind games with opposing managers, and it's working. As much as it's difficult for us, I mean, the Tigers should not be 62 and 65. I mean, he's doing a really good job.
Yeah. No, I'd say he's a top 5 manager in the league. I
mean, if you look at last year, what's his name? Hit 31 home runs. He was sent to the minors this year. He's beat
Torkelson.
Spencer Torkelson.
Bust. Shame.
Well, I think he'll be back. I think he'll have a good year next year. It happens with young. It's so hard. There's no harder sport, than baseball with 162 games to, how many flashes in the pan have we seen? And he wouldn't even be considered one with 31 home runs over a full season. I think he'll be back in action. Look, there's nothing really appealing here. Except I don't. The Tigers are a dangerous underdog. I mean, they're just a dangerous underdog, and so I don't.
Yeah,
wanna,
they're not the White Sox.
I don't want to fade them here. Let's move on. 3:37 p.m. Eastern. Osvaldo Bido is he the best pitcher on the eight? I mean, it's just crazy what he's done these last 2 starts. I don't know what to do with it. Jeffrey Springs coming back from TJ. He was such a bet on pitcher before he got hurt. He hasn't really shown that. He did show us a glimpse in the 6-1 win at home versus Arizona. He should probably show it again here. Osvaldo Bido, though, back-to-back spectacular starts. Justin McKelvey on the under 8. Look, I went back to the well. No, I did say back to the well like I cashed on it on Tuesday. I didn't. I should have. But I bet it again on Wednesday and cashed with it yesterday pretty comfortably. And so but Beto, I mean, am I just supposed to sit back and say, oh, he's this lights out pitcher? 28-year-old journeyman. I mean, it's hard for me to trust him. Who can we trust is the Rays bullpen. Jeffrey Springs over to the Rays bullpen. We have a pitcher who's got back-to-back starts without allowing a run. But look at these numbers. They're pretty real. 30 strikeouts over 27 and 2/3 at home. 1 home run allowed. 200 opponents batting average. I mean, he's as confident as he's ever been. Let's take a look at the line history and touch on the weather as well. What the hell I did with the... Oh, here we go. So weather-wise, in Oakland, 64 Fahrenheit, 10.4 miles per hour to right field. Gets up to 10.2. It's a pitcher's park and the wind swirls. That's not really offensive weather as it may seem. We have this as a 7.5 minus 114 to the under. So there's been 16 cents of movement towards the under. And then on the money line, we have these Rays at minus 120. They opened up at minus 121. They're now at minus 120. So the line hasn't moved towards them. I was expecting it to do that, and it hasn't.
Funny enough, it opened up at minus 111 at Bet Online, and now it's at minus 120.
So it's a little different story there with Bet Online coming out earlier. 93% of the tickets and 90% of the cash on the over, and it's dropping once again. 68% tickets, 65% cash on the Rays. It's just Robert Franklin on the A's. What I don't want to do is expect Osvaldo Bido to throw a third straight great start and then be angry when he doesn't, when he's never shown any of this before. So take it away. I want to hear your breakdown. Noli knows given the skull and bones. Bido's pitching great. Springs is going to be a bet on pitcher. Maybe he's right. Maybe I just go right back to the bet from yesterday that cashed with aplomb. Take it away.
Yeah, I think I'm going to use this as a challenge spot here. I challenge Osvaldo Bido to throw 3 consecutive big league starts in a row that are just incredible. I don't think he's got it in him. Young pitcher, etc., tossed around, all that good shit. But he needs to prove to me that he can throw 3 consecutive good starts in a row. I'm looking at his game logs from last year. I don't see 3 good ones in a row. And this year, obviously, not 3 good ones in a row. You can say 6 innings, 6 hits, 3 runs, 2 of them earned before those shutout performances are good. I can believe that, but I need him to prove it to me here. So I want the Rays here. Now, the question is backing Jeffrey Springs. I don't love at all. Springs coming off of TJ. That's all, concerning. But yeah, I think the Rays win this game. So I think I might just make it simple. Just take the money line. I was considering taking a team total, but since you guys think this is going to be like a dead under kind of game, I think the Rays win this game. If you want to be nice and call this a starting pitching wash, I think, I should look and see who's done better against righties this month. I'll tell you guys that right now. Oakland against righties, 20th, 93 weighted runs created plus. Tampa Bay right down at the bottom.
Springs is a lefty though, my man.
No, that's a good note there. Thank you, Jimmy. A's against lefties, 23rd, 87 weighted runs created plus. And again, the Rays are bad against righties as well. So I understand all under love here.
What about a bullpen breakdown here?
Bullpens. The Rays, will start with them. Rasmussen through, Manuel Rodriguez and Garrett Clevenger all through. So that leaves everyone else available. Again, Pete Fairbanks on the IL. So that's obviously a concern. And we'll see who closes the game for the Rays. But they're the Rays, so they typically figure it out. And for the A's, let's see here. Only JT Gin, which sounds like a great a cocktail name. Only he threw yesterday, so everyone else available. Like I said, Mason Miller, obviously the guy you want if you're an A's backer here, has not thrown since Monday, so he'll be fresh, ready to go. So I understand exactly why you guys are on unders here, but I think I'm going to be on Tampa Bay Ray money line here. I mentioned to you earlier, minus 111 at BetOnline opener here, and it quickly got to minus 120, got down to minus 118 at one point, and then gets back up to 23. So I do like the Rays here, and I think they get the job done.
Huh. And you're going to stay off the under.
Yeah. So I'm avoiding doubling up here. That's primarily why I'm not on the under. I like it. It's a good bet. I agree with you guys. I'm just on the Rays.
I get it. I completely get it. I mean, that was initially what I wanted to do as well. Earl Sports Bets sharing his action in NFL and CFL. Thank you. I've got that all copied and posted so we can discuss it when we talk CFL. And I asked the question, Earl, if you don't mind, if you can get to that when you can.
Good note from Troy. A's at home this season as a dog less than plus 120 are 9-3 to the under, and A's as a home dog with a total less than 8 are 18-5 to the under. So good notes for the under there, and thank you again, Earl Sports, for dropping that in there. We appreciate you, my guy. Excuse me.
Yeah, no, I'm interested, Earl. I was heavy on the Bombers last week, fading Rourke's first start, and I'm doing the same against Kelly here. So I'm curious, when people are backing the Argos here, psychologically, were they on Rourke in his first start? Also psychologically, were they on the Argos in their last start? And I know you were on the Argos too, and you cashed huge against the Stamps. So I just want to be able to, from reading the Undoing Project, pin stuff on cappers. It's just my help here. Just whatever. But thank you. And we'll break down all your thoughts here. Yeah, I mean, I think this is just another under. I as much as I want to challenge Beto, is this the lineup I want to challenge him with? And the answer is no. And he's got the consecutive home starts, and he's a 28-year-old. I mean, his life's on the line. He's got to show that he's legit. All these games are going under. It's funny. Remember when the CFL had the week of straight overs and then the next week of straight unders? And I said we'd get 7 straight unders. And I was right. Now, I didn't take the over in that Elks game that stopped the 7 straight unders, but I'm not concerned. I'm not sitting here going, oh, it's got to come back just because the unders have hit so far. It's just, this is an under baseball stadium with 2 under lineups, good fielding, great bullpens. Now, A's bullpen's not quite as great, but okay. I think I'm going to be on the under 7.5 here. We did not, Troy. So Jose's on the Rays, and what did you get, Jose?
That's a great question. I got minus 123.
And I'm going to be on the under 7.5 again. Okay. 3:37 p.m. action in the books. Well, I'll have time. I don't need to send that in now. And if in fact, if it keeps moving towards the under with 90+% on the over, I'll be comfortable.
Yeah, you'll feel even better.
Lamont Williams, our guy Lamont Williams. I don't know how I missed this. Thank you for starring it. Says we'll be on vacation. Would like to have a birthday pick. Appreciate it, and thank you later. I love it. Love it, Lamont. So Tuesday's his birthday. We'll be on vacation. Would like a birthday pick here. Well, I know the birthday pick I would give right now, and it's the Saskatchewan Roughriders +3. I think it's.
I like how, I've not tracked obviously this, but I feel like you're the majority, and when you're feeling really good, your birthday picks are definitely Canadian sports, hockey, CFL, stuff like that. It makes me laugh, and that's like the special, like Jimmy the Bag twist for your birthday pick. You've never bet the CFL before? Well, here you go.
Yeah, it's the Roughriders +3. I really, really want to challenge Chad Kelly, just like I challenged Nathan Rourke. And you think you can just step into this league and be the all-star that you were? Well,
I agree wholeheartedly.
I will bet against that.
No, I mean it makes all the sense in the world. I agree wholeheartedly. By the way, shout to Kongs.
Yes, and I copied that from earlier, Kong. So we're going to be talking about that, and I'll bring those notes to our future show here. Let's roll. Let's roll. Yes, my birthday pick for Saturated didn't go so well, and it was under and I doubled up on that under myself. Saturated, and your birthday picks for Saturated delivered.
Yeah, I don't remember them, but I know both of them hit Saturated. So
no, you mentioned it. Okay, let's roll on. Next up for us, 6:40 p.m. Eastern, we have my dude's best bet, max betting Skeens over 4.5 hits. We have Philly Eagle Flyer on Red Pirates tied after second inning. We have the Truth Teller on Paul Skeens to record the win. Skeens.
I think I love the Reds here today.
Let me just make sure that I'm not missing other action. I don't have a dog play today from Ron Crawford yet. I don't know if I missed that. Let me know.
You put it in there.
I don't.
Did
I use it for the game? Maybe I put it right under the game.
I haven't seen it then. Yes, I guess either because I didn't start. I got his WNBA.
Oh yes, I do. It's the Mets. It's the Mets +134. Yeah, it's the Mets. I put it there. Okay. I just put it under the game. It's last game on the board. Okay. Let's roll on here. Jerry Davis on the under 7 for Skeens, and thank you, Raymond. Yes. So let's go. Reds Pirates PNC Park in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. We got Joe Todaro. Joey T, we heard you crushing the Contender Series on Tuesday. Great work, Joey. Planted flag fighter Braulio. Brazilian fighter. Let's call
Yeah, Joe, we heard a lot of good shit about you recently, Joe. So shout out to you, my man.
Yeah, good guy. We have MMA Locker Room in the chat as well. The stars of the Locker Room podcast that's blowing up on our channel.
Yep, MMA Locker Room, good interview he just had recently as well. Go check out to that as well. Shout out to you, Millsy.
Yeah, these guys are money in the bank. Let's roll. Nick Lodolo, Paul Skeens. Let's start with the weather, of course. Lodolo coming off getting lit up and smoked. 74 Fahrenheit, 4.9 miles per hour left to right. Stays very light and left to right. Not a big deal. We have Lodolo going 2 1/3, allowing 8 earned runs and a 13-1 loss at home versus the Royals. On the road, he's been great all year. Now, his numbers are inflated now on the season. 4.55 ERA, 1.20 whip, allowed 13 home runs now. And there are concerns of him possibly dealing with arm fatigue. But on the road, he's been great all season long. And he's also on SMU team total under. Nice. Thank you.
Yeah, Kong, by the way, Kong, shout out to you, Kongs, because one of my favorite futures that I have in was a Kong's Clips one. He told me to put in Syracuse to win the ACC. I'm all in. Let's go, Cuse.
Oh, it's going to be a fun football season.
It's like a $3,000 payout if I win. I forget what the odds are already, like 12-1 or some shit like that. But
I'll go down to the Carrier Dome if you get close. I'll go down.
Yeah. I don't know what I'll do if Syracuse actually makes the ACC championship. I might have to go, but shout out to the Orange. I will go and I will be I'll be painted up full orange head to toe, and you will not find a bigger orange head than me right here.
Let's get into the line history for this one. We have Skeens and the Buccos at -139. They opened up at -150. That's a 10-cent move towards the Cincinnati Reds coming down from Canada after a comeback for the ages. I mean,
it was kind of disgusting, huh?
I liked it. The total opened up at 7, except I didn't have live action on it. I mean, whatever.
Yeah. Our under was just dead immediately. At least I'd appreciate the bets that don't leave me hanging on. Just kill me immediately. So.
Yeah, no, I agree. The total opened up at 7 minus 120 to the over. It's still sort of there. It's at 7.5 plus 104 to the over. So I mean, it's not much of a difference. Let's see what it is over at Bet Online here. Because is this telling you that Lodolo is going to have? So there's been a 3-cent move to the over 7.5 at Bet Online. Is this telling you that Lodolo is going to have a great start, or that Skeens is a little bit vulnerable here? 96% of tickets, 96% of the cash on the over. Has it moved enough? No. 26% of tickets, 25% cash on the Reds, and the lines move towards the Reds. Jerry Davis says Lodolo 23 earned runs last 5 starts. Are we at his season high for innings or career high for innings? Take it away.
Yeah, let's find out here, because I want to back Nick Lodolo. And Jimmy, your question of what does the line movement mean? That's like the next step I have to take as a capper here. Because when the line moves this direction, I'm like, all right, sweet. I'm betting the Reds. I'm betting the Reds money line, and I'm going to bet the Reds money line here. I just and the same kind of similar situation for the Red Sox here yesterday. I thought the line moved all the way to the Red Sox, and we didn't know if it was going to be Cooper Criswell pitches well or Justin Verlander gets his tits ripped. It was Cooper Criswell pitching well that day, and the bullpen holding on. And by the way, I did say 2 days ago that this would be the turn for the Red Sox bullpen. 2 days back to back held leads. But I'm trying to, obviously that's the next step. Like, I'm trying to figure out, is Nick Lodolo going to pitch well here, or is Paul Skeens going to get crushed? I think here it's Paul Skeens and Nick Lodolo pitch well, and the Reds get to the Pirates bullpen get to the guys that aren't Paul Skeens here. Because I bet the Reds, or I bet against Paul Skeens several times. I've bet against him much, much more than I bet on him this year. And it kind of feels like that's the case every time, he'll go out there, fucking throw his balls and then do his shit, and then the Pirates blow it late. And I've lost a lot of money betting against the Pirates with Paul Skeens as well. So keep that in mind as well. So let's talk about innings here. Our guy Lodolo, this is his 3rd year in the league. It is his most. He's at 110 and 2/3 innings pitched. He threw 103 in 2022, though. So I don't think he's necessarily gassed yet either. And by the way, this will be his 21st start. In 22, he had 19 starts. And for those who don't know, in 23, he was hurt, only 34 innings pitched. So I think he's fine on that end. Well, let's talk about Skeens. He threw a shitload in LSU. Like, he threw just a lot of pitches at LSU, but we're at 98 innings right now. And I don't know when the brick wall is coming.
I don't think brick wall's coming. I think he's going to be. I think this is his last start of the season. I think he's going to be told to sit down.
And that will infuriate everyone. And I'll tell you that now. And I think so too, because there's already been those rumors about, like, we're about thinking about shutting him down, blah, blah, blah. We'll see. I don't know. We'll see. But I just don't know. And I think that he gets touched up here a little bit, like 1-2 earned runs. And then the bullpen comes through for the rest of them for the Reds here. So I take the Reds money line. I'm going to full game. I'll get you the price right now. But another interesting note, maybe it's Jackson Merle just playing really well, but NL Rookie of the Year odds, Paul Skeens was like minus 500 like a week ago, and now Jackson Merle's right there with him. They're both like, he's like minus 150 now. I think he's actually the favorite.
Wow.
So I don't know. Maybe that's an indication that Paul Skeens gets shut down. Maybe it's one that he gets touched up here. I'm not sure. I just think that line movement is indicating that the Reds win this game. So Reds full game money line for me. I've got it at plus 125.
I imagine you're going to catch this bet, and we've seen teams on travel days with no rest succeed all year. So I imagine you're going to catch this, but coming back from 6-0 down, scoring 11 runs, then having to go to the Toronto airport and cross the border and then fly down to Pittsburgh. I just don't. It's just my own stuff. But
at least it was a happy flight. If it was a loss, it would have been really bad.
No, it's
but we had a lot of ass
back
slapping.
the team. I want to back the team off of an anger flight. I don't. This is not. But I market wise, they're saying that you are absolutely right. That Lodolo will bounce back and you will cash. I'm not going to be on it. I will just cheer you on, and I imagine I'm likely leaving money on the table. Let's move on. 7:07 p.m. Eastern, we have the Los Angeles Angels, 54-73, 27-33 on the road at the Toronto Blue Jays, 59-68, 30 and 33 at home. We expect Jake Bloss, who's the Bloss. We expect who's the Bloss to be pitching here. He was part of the Kikuchi trade, and he came to AAA. Before the trade, he'd made 3 starts with Houston, and he did not look good. He gave up 9 runs over 11 and 2/3. Struck out 11 batters over that time. But we expect Bloss here. I didn't know that much about Bloss until the trade. 3rd round pick in the 2023 draft out of Georgetown. He just turned 23 years old. In Buffalo, he's made 2 starts. Now, he's only been in for 6 and 2/3. Hasn't allowed a run. Is he ready to roll here in AAA Sugarland? He only had 1 start there because he spent most of the year at Corpus Christi. He spent a little bit of the year in High A Asheville, where he dominated, but he also dominated at Corpus Christi AA. He had 8 starts through 44 and 2/3, went 3-1 with a 1.61 ERA and a 0.72 WHIP. He allowed just 2 home runs in 44 and 2/3 at AA. He's a good young pitcher. He is a Soto would say yes to 800 milli, man. But I after you play in New York, I don't know how you play anywhere else.
So, are we expecting Jake Bloss to throw a lot of innings here? Because someone else in the chat said, or Drewski's saying it's Ryan Burr, and RotoWire, who again cannot be trusted, has Yarbrough as their primary. So and Bloss, I looked at his number innings wise. He's max 4 or 5 innings, but I don't know. Well, and he's gone 6 1/3 this year once already. So I'm just interested to see how long he's going to go. I don't know.
Wow, if Drewski has studied this, and it must be Ryan Burr.
I just think that's what the books have Ryan Burr listed right now.
Do they?
And
right now?
I thought maybe that's just an opener. But then, RotoWire has Yarbs as the primary, but obviously we just saw RotoWire's probably wrong on the Tigers one. So,
yeah, Burr is listed. He is the opener. So, Yarbrough gonna be the bulk pitcher. So this is the first opening spot for Burr. So it's not who's the Bloss. It is Yarbrough. Why don't you set up the Yarbrough breakdown here? He looked pretty good in his last appearance, going up against Griffin Canning. Look, you guys were right. I was wrong. Griffin Canning's been horrific. 5.41 ERA, 1.42 WHIP. It's been tough watching him fail. And the Jays are raking right now, surprisingly. 255, 786 OPS. The kids are hitting. Angels versus righties, 200, 608 OPS. Angels bullpen, 2.84 ERA, 1.19 WHIP. The Jays bullpen, that was the first spot that the Jays got lit up from their bullpen in a while. Their bullpen be pretty good, but they got lit up and smoked. They don't have much talent in that bullpen, so we can expect more of that. Let's take a look at the weather. First off, will that roof be open? I don't know. It's right on the edge, 72 Fahrenheit, 7.2 miles per hour to right.
Oh, what a nice day.
Yeah, it might be open. It doesn't get too cold too quickly, but they've been closing it if it's under 70 and it's right at the edge there. And they close it when you don't expect them to, so I don't have the answer there. I don't know if anybody does. From a line history standpoint, this total is at 9. It's minus 118 to the under. This opened up at 8.5 and it's come up to 9. And then from a money line standpoint here, we have a minus 141 for the Jays. That's exactly where they opened, minus 141. Cash flow wise, you have 84% of tickets to 71% of cash on the Jays. It's 16 and 29 on the Angels, which I think makes sense. I think the Angels are live here. 92% tickets, 93% cash on the over. It's tough trusting the Angels sticks, but Obviously, this pitching staff is susceptible. We got Old E in the house. Great to see you, my man. And Kuji says he'll never give up on Canning. That's our guy. And I love it. Old E says he has to be on the cusp of getting limits from Hard Rock. They've done it to me once. I can sense it happening again. Go get that cash, Old E. I'd love to hear it. So talk to us about Yarbrough and break it down for us. This game, Angels at Toronto at Rogers Center.
Yeah, I there's not much to say about Yarbrough. 2-3 innings. He's been fine. 0 earned runs, 1 earned run. Got touched up against Baltimore, but has been generally 1 to no earned runs for the last 2 months. He's the 3 earned runs against Baltimore on the 7th were the most he's given up since, like I said, a full month. He went 2 innings, 4 hits, 3 earned runs against Milwaukee. So I don't know. Maybe we do see all 3 pitchers here, Jimmy. Maybe we do see Burr come out. Then we see Yarbrough for a few. Then we see Jake Bloss get his feet wet, and then we see the bullpen continue on from there. I just don't want to move on this game. 2 juice. And it's just like, am I gonna lay minus 140 with the Blue Jays here? I don't want to. And Canning has not been good, so it's just an easy stay off game for me. Jimmy, I'll use this opportunity to tell you and tell the chat that I did have another one of those dreams last night where Helga cheated on me, and I woke up furious again this morning. It was quite funny. Yeah, it was actually. Go ahead.
Do you know who it was? Like who was?
Yeah, it was one of her friends. It was a woman, and I was like, "What the fuck?"
Well, that's great.
I was so weird. I was like, "What's
nothing weird about that at all?"
This is the second time this has happened now, obviously, but this is now the second time this has happened with another woman, and I'm just like, "What the fuck?" And I just woke up furious, and I was like, "What's going on?"
This is great. Love seeing you so unstable in your relationship while you're planning to propose. This is great stuff. This is fodder for lots of laughs as we move forward. Please, all of the dreams where Helga's cheating on you, please regale us right off the top of the show, because this is
I will. Because that happened this morning, and I woke up at like 6 in the morning, and I just walked around my apartment for like 2 minutes, just angry. I was like, "What the fuck?"
I know what it doesn't mean. It doesn't mean that you have a lot of confidence in your masculinity. I know that.
You know what? Sure. You know what? Hands up, guys. I guess you guys finally got me.
Let's move on to the next spot on the board. And we welcome our first guest of the show off a 2-in-1 day yesterday. He's raking this month, and we need him to rake right here on Betting with the Bag. Please welcome from Dallas, Texas. We are just a couple days away from our first college football live stream of the year, Saturday, August 24th, 11:45 a.m. Just a couple days away. Please welcome the star of Medicate Mondays. And also, we are 10 days away from the tailgate. Please welcome Mr. Daby Cab to the show. Daby, how are you?
I'm good. Jimmy, you know what? I got about 6-7 messages from friends sending me Georgia Tech gifts yesterday, whether it was in text messages or DMs.
I saw that.
Since we're not cutting a segment out yet, I have this to say to you. Fuck you. Go Seminoles. Let's go.
Yeah, no, it's good. It's everybody on the other side of you in this one. Yeah, it's going to be
friends of mine who I didn't even know still tuned into the show sent me gifts of Georgia Tech yesterday. It started with my good friend C-Mac, and then it went to Moose, and then it went to people who have nothing to do with Pub Sports Radio. I'm like, okay, now fuck all of you.
Oh, it's going to be fun. Saturday, it all goes down. Let's get to work. Daby Cab, you are with us for the next 3 games. Game 2 is a waffle, which I'm sure will pique the interest of our friends in the chat.
Be interested.
But we get started here. Houston Astros 68-58, 33-29 on the road. The Baltimore Orioles 74-54, 37-28 at home at Camden Yards in Baltimore, Maryland. Let's start with the weather in Charm City, home of our friend Von Polo. 75 Fahrenheit, 6.2 miles per hour left to right. Dice down to 5.4 miles per hour. Let's get into the line history for this one. We'll start with the money line. The Orioles minus 148 opened up minus 155. There's been 7 cents of movement away from the Orioles, 6 cents of movement towards the Astros, who opened up at plus 142 and are now plus 136. So a slight move towards Houston, who's not been playing their best ball after an enormous winning streak. This total is an 8. It opened up at 8.5, and it dropped to 8 at 9:05 this morning. That's where it is right now. 109 to the over, 103 to the under. A half-run move towards the under. Let's get into the cash flow. Cash flow wise here, we have 83% of tickets and 80% of cash on the over. On the money line, we have 80% of tickets and 88% of cash on the Orioles. This is setting up for us to back Spencer Arrighetti, who is a Jekyll and Hyde pitcher. That last start was not good. 5-4 loss at home versus the White Sox. Ron Crawford says Houston is a road dog. Now, not the play of the day, which will be coming up on our last game of the year from Ron Crawford, but a dog from the spreadsheet, from the annals of the spreadsheet.
Jesus. By the way, Trevor Rogers optioned to AAA.
Whew. Yeah, I was shocked that they even brought him in. I mean, what were they thinking?
I thought he'd be good. What a shame.
I mean, he had, what was his WAR with the Jays? So it was minus, right? It was minus 0.6.
Wrong, Trevor Rogers. Remember that? We're thinking of Trevor Richards.
Oh, you're right.
About.
Sorry.
Yeah.
You're right. I think Trevor
Talking
Richards.
about the shitty lefty.
Sorry.
Yeah, from the Marlins.
Okay. Wow. They designate him. Wow.
AAA. Yeah.
Wow.
So
I was thinking Richards. You're right. Wow. Trevor Rogers.
I think.
Of course. Wow.
I think he still has options in his contract, so they can send him down without having to worry about everyone else trying to take him from him. So that's nice. But yeah, now he's in AAA.
Wow. No, I was very wrong about him. Remember, I was the wrongest of everybody. I thought that was a good setup too. O'Hearn over 1.5 bases for Justin McKelvey. Ron Crawford says they need to designate Kimbrel. He's been a little better of late, but I hate having money on the Orioles and seeing him on the mound. Let's go back to Arrighetti, though. On the road, he struggled. 2-6, 6.09 ERA, 275 opponent's batting average. Corbin Burns coming off a really bad start. 4 innings, 8 earned runs, 12-10 loss at home to the Red Sox. Now Jose was all over it. Jose had the Red Sox team total over. He had the Red Sox. Astros versus righties, 263, 773 OPS. Look at the Orioles numbers versus righties in August. All of a sudden, they're not hitting. 238, 691 OPS. You have a bullpen in August at 6.16 ERA, 1.39 whip, and you're not hitting, which means you are losing. I understand why this market is going slightly towards the Astros, but I don't know if I have the balls to jump in. 80% of the tickets and 88% of cash on the Orioles, and we have this slight move to the Houston Astros. Daby Cab, best bet time. Take it away.
Yeah, after listening to, intro this, I wouldn't hate an Astros team total here. I mean, Burns is that guy. He's got the most quality starts in the AL right now, so I get it. But even if he does have a quality start, gives up 2 runs in 6 innings, you can still get 2 more runs off the bullpen. I had the Brewers team total over 3.5 yesterday, and they didn't fucking score until the 6th inning. I mean, it is what it is. It's just how baseball works. A 3.5 is a low number. That's 1 crooked number and 1 home run, basically. It's not that hard to get to. So I don't hate the Astros team total here. I can't. It's hard for me to get behind the Astros as a dog. They've lost 4 of Arrighetti's last 5 starts. And you look on the other side, Orioles have won 4 of Burns' last 5 starts. So it's just basically complete opposites here. So as far as a side, it's hard for me to say, but I'd go Astros team total over 3.5 if you wanted to take a side. I'm going to be on my over 1.5 bases with Alvarez here. He's seen Burns 6 times. He's got 1 walk, 2 hits. Both of those hits were home runs, 3 RBIs. So that's a 400 batting average with the 500 on base percentage. Alvarez, Burns' fastball he can get it by a lot of people. He's not getting it by Alvarez, and he's shown that. So I love it, especially at plus 130. He didn't cash it yesterday. We didn't bet it yesterday. He cashes it today at plus 130. We bet it today. That's how it works.
Over 1.5 bases at plus 130. The market's telling us that Burns is going to have a bounce back start. Maybe not against Alvarez, but in general. And the line's moving towards the Astros, so it means Arrighetti's going to pitch well. This total's gone from 8.5 to 8. Jose, what are you doing here?
Astros money line. They should not be this big of a dog, really, against anyone, honestly. I mean, I've slandered the Astros all year, but this is the team that's been to the ALCS for the last fucking 10 years. They should not be plus 130 against the Baltimore Orioles. I don't give a fuck if they have Corbin Burnes on the mound. Give me the Astros here, full game money line. The live movement helps a lot to give me that confidence to back them here, but I trust the Astros offense. They'll get it done. Fucking Alex Bregman was hitting first yesterday. That was the weirdest thing ever. Yeah, sure, they struggled against the Red Sox, but guess what? The Red Sox are good at baseball. So
yeah, one of those games they had the lead right up until the end. It's just 2 losses. It's nothing to freak out about. And the Mariners are dog shit, so we got that going for us.
The Mariners, no, division's done. That's done. Wrap that up. Count your money, Cab. They're winning by 5-6 games.
Jimmy, stop.
They're going to be done. They're going to be done. This is over. They've got this by 6 games. They're not.
I need this money, and you need to shut up.
The Astros have a tough schedule here for the next couple weeks, so we need them to get through these games. Okay, at least
win this game today.
I do not want to fade Corbin Burnes after he got embarrassed at home. Yeah, so that's all. I completely agree with you that the Astros shouldn't be on this line, but I've stopped doing it over the last few years. I will not fade a great pitcher after a horrible start. We're
gonna pecker slap them today. It's gonna be great.
Well, I will cheer for you. What did you get on the Astros?
Plus 136 full game money line.
Plus 130. I mean, the
you might as
market
well make it a real bet and tie in Alvarez over 1.5 bases at plus 130.
I'm good with my plus 136. Thank you.
Speaking of Alvarez and the Astros, did Jose even tell you about Helga and her big unit? How she likes, bigger units than him?
Yeah, he was on the show, right?
No, it was on Saturday when that all happened.
Oh,
yeah,
really?
Yeah, it was. It was on Saturday. Yeah,
I think I told him. Yeah.
Yeah, I heard that she made a big bet. Legit.
Yeah,
bet.
she put her balls on the table. $100 unit. She cashed it. I paid her out as well. And then she went to go and sleep with one of her friends. I shouldn't say some random girl. One of her friends in my dream. So that's how that happened.
Your future wife has tremendous balls.
She had the balls to put Alvarez and the Astros on the money line together.
Of course. Of course.
Very impressive. Look, the market is telling us that the Astros should be bet. I just, after Burnes gets embarrassed like that, I mean, are we going to sit back and expect him to suck?
I am.
I mean, just entertain yourself, Jose. If it's plus 135 and plus 130, that's probably magnificent odds.
It probably is, but you know what's great odds to me? Plus 135 for the Houston Astros, who are going to win this division by fucking 6 games. Go to the ALCS like they always do.
If you say that again, Alvarez is going to get a pointless double in the first inning, and then the Astros aren't going to score a run the whole fucking game.
So that would just make me laugh because that would hurt your bet as well. So
no, it wouldn't. I just said Alvarez over 1.5 bases. How would that hurt?
Well, you have the future. If you're going to lose this fucking game,
they can still win if they lose this game.
Of course they can. They're going to win this division by 6 games. It's not going to be close. Mariners
George
are done.
Wood looking at the over. Jermaine Conley says this ain't the same Burnes.
That I'll disagree with, but I'm interested to hear your reasoning on that, Jermaine. Sorry.
I mean, he's got the most quality starts in the AL.
He's going to be second in the AL Cy Young.
Clark Edge in the house. Great to see you. Wager Detective. You'll get that back today, man. Okay. I don't know. Like I'll deal with this after the show. I mean, yeah, the market's saying that the Astros should be bet at this number. But I really am uncomfortable fading Burnes after that horrific start. So the chillest in the house is Astros money line for some sweet plus money. Okay. Email, just hit jimmythebag@hotmail.com. Okay, let's roll on. Yeah, jimmythebag@hotmail.com. Zachary Bruner says thoughts on the over-under for the Astros game. I can understand why George Wood's going to go over the 8 if Corbin Burnes is being as susceptible as he's been lately, and Arrighetti's not been good since those incredible strikeout run the back-to-back 29. What do you have, a 15 strikeout game and a 13 strikeout game?
Yep.
I can get it, but the line from 8.5 to 8 with all the money on the over tells me to bet the under.
Yep, I was gonna say I think the case here is that both pitchers pitch well. This is a low-scoring game, and the Orioles bullpen blows it late. That is my official prognosis.
Yeah, which is a very feasible possible. Okay, I'm going to spend some time on it later. Daby Cab on Alvarez over 1.5 bases in the Astros money line. Let's move on to the final two games.
I'm not. I'm just on Alvarez.
Yeah, sorry. What did I say? Sorry. Daby Cab on Alvarez over 1.5 bases. Jose on the Astros money line. Let's move on to 7:08 p.m. Eastern. Philadelphia Phillies at Atlanta Braves. We're in Truist Park in Atlanta, Georgia. Justin McKelvey, Stacks play of the day is live here. Justin McKelvey on the Braves team total over 3.5 and -129.
Stacks.
It didn't take Christopher Sanchez too long to pitch very well in his last start. 99 pitches it took him. So it's not like Severino, who pitched a season high 113 pitches. This was 99 pitches. He hasn't faced the Braves all year. But the Braves are starting to rake against lefties. 239, 849 OPS since August 1st. And I want to fade pitchers after a spectacular performance where they have to switch facilities. It's worked for me. I'm doing that against both Sanchez and Severino with team totals. And I'm interested in doing more. But for starters, I have the Braves team total over 3.5 at -129. And I thought about waiting. I really thought about waiting. I didn't. And if I had it probably would have worked out. The Braves team total now is -126. I should have waited. It was I saw that this game was moving towards the under, and it was a mistake. I should have waited. I didn't need to get it in. I don't know why I pushed it so hard. The Chilla says Atlanta money line right here. I'm interested. So we have Stacks play today. Ozuna over 1.5 bases. The Phillies just 3 games over 500 on the road, but the cash for us yesterday against the Braves, 6 games over 500 at home. Truist Park in Atlanta, Georgia. Let's start with the weather here. 84 Fahrenheit, 7.3 miles per hour left to right, and slightly in. Sanchez, as I said, complete game last out. Hasn't faced the Braves all year, but he's struggled on the road. 2-5, 5.53 ERA, 53 2/3, just 32 strikeouts and 21 walks. Now he's only allowed 3 jacks, but a 3.22 opponent's batting average. Noli knows says playoff type game. It certainly was a playoff type game yesterday. It was very enjoyable. Just good baseball. The Phillies came back. I did get them plus 2.5 at -130, down 2-0 when the Braves had a runner on with like an out pretty early in the game, maybe the 4th inning or so. Let's go here. Schwellenbach on the other side, 4-6, 4.04 ERA, 1.07 WHIP. Last start, 5 innings, 3 earned runs, 8 Ks, 2 walks, and a 3-2 loss at the Angels. He's been good at home, good on the road. He's a good young pitcher. And the Phillies aren't hitting righties. 238, 686 OPS since August 1st, and both bullpens have been scuffling. Let's take a look at the line history for this one. We already talked about the weather. The line history has this total down to a 7.5. That is a full rundown from the 8.5 opener. This was a full rundown at 1:03 a.m. too. Went 7.5, then it came back up. It's just moved to 7.5 27 minutes ago. There other books have 8 on the board, but not penny. They've moved it a full rundown, 8.5 to 7.5. On the money line here, we have the Braves at -109. They opened up at -109. So they opened up and they're there. Take a look at the cash flow for this one. We have 59% of tickets, 54% of cash on the Braves. It's a pick'em situation. It's a pick'em line. On the total, though, 85% of tickets, 85% of cash on the over, and it's moving towards the under. Take it away for us here. First, we'll hear from Daby Cab. What was the bet going to be before we decided against it?
I will talk about it, but I don't even want to. It was going to go against what I usually do. And I can talk about the side and the total on this game also. Have you seen what Harper's done his last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games? He hadn't done shit. And, I usually say you go with the hitter when they're hot. Literally, he hasn't got a hit in his last 5 games. 0 for 4, 0 for 4, 0 for 4, 0 for 3. And I don't know why. I just think Swellenbach's going to serve him up today. Terrible fucking reason to bet something. So that's why I chose not to give it out.
Do you want a worse reason? Oh, did anyone? Please tell me you guys in the chat saw my guy, Venezuelan, hit that home run. I think it was Alcides Escobar. I forget his name already. The shortstop for the Braves. He hits the home run, and he's rounding first base, and he stares Bryce Harper down in his fucking chest. And he's the guy that was like, "Oh, Harper, the playoffs," and he started that whole
when was
thing
that yesterday. Like what inning?
I don't know. I think it was like the third, fourth inning.
Third.
And they didn't. The Braves, by the way, didn't score any more runs and they lost the game. But he stares as Orlando Arcia, by the way, stares at him right in his fucking heart. And I just think Bryce Harper, he is one of these guys. And Noel, you think he didn't watch it on fucking social media? You don't think that's been brought up in the clubhouse? You don't think the Phillies are going to come?
He was asked about it. Yeah,
He means he didn't notice at the time. He knows now.
He is going to come out for blood and guts today, and he hits a home run today, and he is going to stare Orlando Arcia right in the fucking face. Not a fucking doubt on my mind. So I like your bet here.
No,
I'm not betting it. Fuck no. I don't bet props, but
not a doubt in your mind. You're not betting it?
No, I'm going to bet the Braves money line here. The Braves win this game. I'm right there with Jimmy. I'm not fucking backing Christopher Sanchez after a complete game. But this is an over kind of ball game, I think. And I think Bryce Harper hits a home run and he's going to stare fucking Arcia down in the face. And it's going to be great. And maybe, who knows, maybe Orlando Arcia gets hit today and more sparks will fly. Now, I doubt that one will happen, but God, would that be fun. But let's talk about the market here. 59% of the bets, 54% of the bets on the Braves. A very rare 50-50 split on the money line here. But Jimmy, Bet Online opens this up. Minus 107, Philadelphia Phillies, and it flips quickly. And it's been interesting. So I think the Braves win this game. It's going to be fun. I like Harper again for your base prop.
Are you 100% sure that you're not going to bet it?
I'm 1,000% sure I'm not betting that.
Okay, Jimmy, you can make Harper over 1.5 bases at plus 114 official for me.
Yeah, you're welcome, by the way. You don't want that to be a waffle? There you go. I push you in the direction to make the bet.
Just need to know that you're not betting it.
There's no shot. No, go ahead. But I think that the Braves do win this game, but God damn it, Harper makes a statement tonight.
Yeah, I would like to be on the Braves. I'm not going to. I'm just going to stick with the team total over 3.5. I feel like
minus 110.
Jose is on the Braves minus 110. And we roll. BJ saying Schwellenbach's already faced the Phillies and pitched a gem. Wager Detective says Phillies again. Aubrey Travis on the Braves money line.
It's the most split game of the day.
We roll on 9:40 p.m. Eastern. And again, I'm on a team total over against a pitcher who just pitched beautifully. 9 innings at home, 4-0 win over the Marlins. Severino, 8 strikeouts, 1 walk, and he threw a season-high 113 pitches. I will challenge him with this Padres offense. I would like to see what's going on with this one. If this was also something I should have waited on. No. Okay, at least I beat this line move by 3 cents. I missed the other one by 3 cents, so I guess it's a push. I like it. It's great having Ramon Scott in the chat as well. Ramon, great to see you, my man.
I've heard he's a dealer.
He is. He moves heavyweight.
NC number 4, Ramon Scott. He knows about poker. He's a dealer.
Shout out to you, Ramon.
He's the man. I wish we were having a poker tournament tomorrow, but we'll have one for the 30th here. Severino versus Dylan Cease. Severino 8-6, 3.91 ERA, 1.22 WHIP. He struggled on the road. Look, Sanchez and Severino, they both just pitched against weak competition at home and were spectacular. I'm excited to fade them both here, but I'm only doing it on a team total, and maybe I'll change that. The question is, we know Dylan Cease has been pretty predictable this year. When he's been when he went on that run, he was lights out. He couldn't get hit. He's been a little bit vulnerable of late. That last start was in the thin air of Colorado. He was pretty good there. 3 earned runs over 5 2/3, but he did walk 5 batters. At home, 5-5, 3.17 ERA, 65 in the third, 87 strikeouts, 20 walks, 7 homers, 197 opponent's batting average. Mets are hitting just 243, 727 OPS first righties. Padres first righties 264, 777. The Mets bullpen 3.76 ERA, 1.42 WHIP. Padres bullpen being elite, as you guys had predicted. 2.79 ERA, 1.20 WHIP. Benjamin Mills says Mets cross-country trip with no day off. Teams in that spot are 13-13 this season, but only 1-5 since the All-Star break. That's interesting, Benjamin. Benjamin always has great stuff for us, but that's interesting that it's fallen off because I mentioned that earlier in the show thinking that it had stayed strong. Very, very, very interesting. We are also at our guy, Ron Crawford's spreadsheet play of the day. Ron Crawford is on the Minnesota Twins. And Danny Dog play today from Daniel Hernandez is on the Minnesota Twins. Lamont Williams is max betting the San Diego Padres team total over 4. I ate the cost and took the 3.5 here. But shout out to Ron Crawford, who continues to deliver with his spreadsheet dog plays of the day. So
Wait, Twins there. You said Twins there. They're on the Mets, right?
Did I say Twins?
Yeah, you said Twins twice there. I was like, why is he thinking Twins right now?
I'm sorry. I don't know why I said Twins there. My apologies. Take it away here from Best Bet Dabra Cadabra. Floor is yours. Mets, Padres.
Yeah, it looks like we made the same bet, Jimmy, and I ate the juice also. I got the Padres team total over 3.5 at -130. I'm in the same boat with you. I don't think Severino necessarily has a bad game today, but he's not going 9-shutty again. And he was struggling his 3 starts before that against Minnesota, Colorado, and Seattle of all teams, right? 4 runs against Seattle, 4 runs against Colorado, 6 runs against Minnesota, and then you get Miami. That's exactly who you want when you're having a good season, and then all of a sudden you start to struggle. If there's ever a get-right team, and I talk about this all the time, that's who you want to pitch against, and that's what he did. He got right. Now, the Padres haven't been doing shit lately against righties. In their last 10 days, 275 plate appearances, they're hitting 242, 99 runs created plus. So they're not necessarily tearing the cover off the ball or anything like that. But, as a team on the season, best batting average still, and there's swings in baseball. I think 4 runs is not much to ask for here against Severino. I think we get, 2 at minimum, 3 or 4 off of him, and then we can get a couple off the bullpen also.
Yeah, I'm right with you. This one I have more confidence in than the other. Let me ask you before we go over to Jose, what are your expectations for Dylan Cease?
Did you ask Jose that or me?
No, sorry. You.
Oh, I've talked with you about Dylan Cease this season. There was a point where I was completely staying away from Dylan Cease and I wanted nothing to do with him. And then he kind of came back and started pushing that ERA down. Last 2 games, he gave up a couple runs, but that run from July 13th to August 6th, he was on fire through those 5 or 6 starts. Atlanta, he gave up no runs, 6 innings. Cleveland, no runs, 7 innings. Washington, no runs, 9 innings. Dodgers, 1 run, 5 2/3. So he's just on fire, and it's not like he fell apart completely. He only gave up 3 runs and 2 runs in his last 2 starts. So don't let his ERA fool you. Dylan Cease still has the ability to be Dylan Cease.
Saturate says Cease looked great early last time out, then couldn't get an out to save his life. I'm leaving him out of the equation. Let's hear what Jose Bouquett has to say about this spot. Final spot on the board for us. Late night action, Mets Padres.
All right. This is going to be a heat check bet here. This is definitely going to be one that maybe I get shamed for. Maybe people will say it's not right to parlay little children involved in games. But you know what? Nuke Worker poked the bear. Nuke Worker says that I'm going to be watching the little Venezuelan Little League World Series team lose to Japan later today. And Nuke, you know what I have to say about that, Nuke? Suck my dick from the back, Nuke.
From the back?
From the back. I hope he smells my smelly fucking taint as well. And we'll talk about taint here in a second. But minus 145 money line for Venezuela. You parlay that with this team total over as well. And by the way, good for you guys, because I have minus 145 for this team total over 3.5 here. So you guys obviously have gotten much better prices than I. So I was going to be like, okay, how am I going to bet this? Am I going to lay the super juice? I don't love doing that. And then Nuke just pokes the fucking bear and he wants to go there, Nuke. You just poke the bear. So fine, I'll do it. I'll bet on little children. I don't give a fuck. Plus 189 parlay together. Team total over 3.5 in this game. And Venezuela money line in the Little League World Series against Japan to make the Little League World Final that I will absolutely not be watching.
That's some intense stuff. And Remmo's not pleased with the lack of respect you've shown to the Nuke Worker. And Mr. Heat wondering if guys have taints. That is a long-standing argument. Many people believe men don't have taints. And maybe Jose can flip around and show you at some point.
Well, we're on the topic of taint. Taint in. It is in fact in Blue Jays run line plus 140 for taint. Shout out to you, Matty Ice. He DM'd it to me. And yes, BJ, of course I'm fucking serious. I'm making this bet. Plus 189, great value.
Blue Jays run line for taint, eh? Minus 1.5. What number?
Plus 140.
For taint. Taint is in. Shout out to our friend, Matty Ice, and sweet, sweet taint. Philly Eagle Flyer says men have taint. Women call it a fleshy fun bridge.
I'm immediately interested.
That's the first I've heard of that.
I feel like every time we talk about taint, I have to do this now. Fuck you, Pete Rose. I hope you die slow and painful.
Wow. Yeah.
Why did taint remind you of Pete Rose?
He's got a flapping taint. It made it uncomfortable for him to sit. That's why he's Charlie Hustle. He didn't like sitting because of his wobbly taint. Made him uncomfortable.
So that makes sense. That's why he like dove head first, because he can't slide on his ass because then his taint would drag. That makes sense.
Yeah, and rip.
That makes sense.
Oh.
Yeah, and no one wants that to be. That puts you on the IL for at least 60 days.
Let's move on. Taint is in on the final game on the card. We have Ron Crawford on the Mets. We have Daniel Hernandez on the Mets. Cab and I, which doesn't happen often, we have same action here. We're both on the Padres team total over 3.5. I've got a ton of confidence in it.
Might be the first time all season.
Yeah, I like it. Bookie Buster play today is the Padres as well. Let's get that up here and locked in. And let's review all baseball. Daby Cab is going to be joining us here after NFL and CFL. After NFL and CFL, Daby Cab, and that's 3 games in totality, so it won't be long. And he'll be joining us for North Carolina Tar Heels against the Minnesota Golden Gophers, Huntington Bank Stadium a week from now. So we're going to be capping that together here shortly. Cab's going to move on that. Daby Cab here has 3 spots to close up his card. He has that's NFL. He has the Padres team total over 3.5. He has Harper over 1.5 bases at plus 114. And he has Alvarez over 1.5 bases at plus 130. Big Show picks, absolutely. You can drop the link for the Locker Room Talk podcast. Great show. You guys are crushing it. Absolutely, my friend. Jerry Davis says go with the Gophers and row the boat. It's going to be a fun breakdown that will happen shortly. Let's review all action in Major League Baseball before we go into NFL, which is next. Truth Teller gets us started with Brewers Cards, first 5 over 4. That's his play of the day, and those games are starting right now. We have Rockies, Nats. Nats are already through the Rockies. So nice start there for Patrick Corbin.
I forgot to add this as well. I went ahead and I took Nationals. I'm sorry, I should have said this much earlier. I took Nationals -1 at -105. It's my first -1 of the year. I've been taking -1.5s, and I've been swearing them off recently. I thought about taking a team total as well, but the line movement was just crazy. At some point, I feel like I had to step in and be like, okay, if we're going to move from -115 to -150, fine. You got me, Patrick Corbin. You got me.
Yeah, no, we got it locked in here. I'm with you. We're all there, and there's a nice start for Corbin. DC Capper's best bet is on Washington and Corbin. Justin McKelvey on Rogers over 1.5 bases. Wine Time Sports on the Nationals. Gifted Cartel is on the Rockies money line, so he's on the other side of us here. Let's go over more action from the Cappers in the chat. Jared Bush is on the Cards money line, and he's on the under 8 in the Yankees game and the over in the Rockies Nats game. We have Sancho on the Angels money line. Braves Phillies first 5 and full game over. UPK Ayashiola is on the Yankees money line, the Orioles money line, Nats money line, Blue Jays money line. And he's on Marvin Harrison Jr. for Rookie of the Year plus 650. Then we have Mally Mal all over this with SGPs. He's got Yankees first 5. Judge hit Yankees over 2.5 runs at plus 135. My dude has Cole 5 or more Ks. Judge homer. Soto 2 or more hits and 2 or more bases and the money line. Troy Torrance is on the first 5 under 4.5 in Yankees Guardians. So we are off and racing in both of those. We have 1 out. Cole's got 1 out. There's a runner on first for the Guardians. And, of course, that Rockies-Nats game is in the bottom of the first. That total now at 8.5. Nationals live -190. -190. And here we have action in the Yankees-Guardians game. Let's just see this. Another out. So there's 2 out now for Cole. Wells RBI for Justin McKelvey. Mexican Elvis is on Guardians run line. And I said that under 4.5. For Troy Torrance. Wine Time Sports on the Yankees on the run line. I'm on the Yankees -1. Wine Time Sports also on the Nationals. Gifted Cartel, as I said, on the Rockies. Then we have BJ all over Washington. Billy Friedrich Pig Milk play today's Rockies first 5 money line. So we'll see how that bangs out here. Let's roll. Also, my dude on Arenado over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. Crystal Craig has been rolling with her plays of the day. William Contreras over 1.5 bases at even money. There's Steve G in the house. Nice to see you, Steve. Hockey right around the corner. Then Detroit Cubs, we stayed off. Jose's on the Rays -123. I'm going to be moving on the under 7.5. Then we have Jose on the Reds at plus 125. My dude is on Skeens over 4.5 hits. Philly Eagle Flyer on Reds Pirates tied after the second inning. Then we have Blue Jays -1.5 is the taint play of the day. Jose's on the Astros money line. I don't know what to do with the Astros at this point. I'm going to need a little bit more time. But I am on the Braves team total over 3.5. Jose, that's you on the Braves money line?
Yeah, I'm on it -110.
Stacks play today. Ozuna over 1.5 bases. Bookie Buster play today. Padres. Lamont is on the Padres team total over 4. Cabby and I got the 3.5. And Jose is on the Venezuela Little League team and the Padres team total over 3.5 at plus 189. That is MLB for today. Thank you guys for rocking with us on the Diamond. Daby Cab, you will be back for college football. Any last words for the Cappers supporting the show?
Well, I mean, I'll be right back. So I'll give you guys some last words then. See you guys in just a minute.
Let's roll. Jose, I'm going to roll into NFL. And don't forget, we have a $150 horse race coming up here shortly. Not too much. And then Jose and I are also going to cap that WNBA game to close up the card.
Hell yeah. I mean, let me tell you guys now, $150. I better see a few more memberships rolling. You don't want to miss it. You don't know if it'll ever get this high again.
Let's roll $150. That's going to be a lot of fun. Let's roll in the NFL. We start at 8 p.m. Eastern. We start 8 p.m. Eastern with the Indianapolis Colts 1-1. Both those games have been at home at Cincinnati Bengals 0-2. The Bengals and Zach Taylor don't care about preseason. Zach Taylor now 3-11 in the preseason. Hasn't won a preseason game since 2022. He doesn't care about stacking these preseason W's. Steichen 3-2 overall in the preseason, 1-1 this year. Let's take a look at the line history and the cash flow, and I'm very interested to hear from you guys. DJ Big Boss says college football. Let's go. Let's go and do exactly that here. We're going to move over to NFL, go over the line history and the cash flow. The line history is nuts in the Chiefs-Bears game. With all of everybody on the Bears. We'll go over that one. But let's go over this one. There's been a monstrous move towards the Colts. Monstrous move. Zach Taylor says, he's not going to play starters, and the line moves 4 points. But this line moved more than 4 at Pinnacle. This opened up at 1.5. We're talking Monday morning at 9:23 a.m. 1.5. And then 2.5 by 10:20, 3 at 11:16. This is all on Monday. 3.5 at 2:16 p.m., 5 at 3:20 p.m., 6 the following morning, 6.5 right now, and 7s are coming. That's preseason football, limits, and big market moves. From a total standpoint, we have a 34.5. Everybody talking about the unders hitting nonstop. This opened up at 35.5. Again, this was on Monday at 9:23 a.m. when the side came out, and it started moving towards the under with Vig. It got to 34 on Tuesday at 4:35 p.m. And then it got to 33.5. That's the most interesting market move of this game, other than of the total, I should say, because it's a hugely interesting 5-point move that's about to be a 6-point or 5.5-point move. About to be 5.5-point move on the side. This was 33.5 at -108 at 4:41 p.m. on Tuesday. 15 minutes later, it's up 1.5 to 35. That's an interesting move. Now we're back at 34.5, but for a book like Pinnacle to move it 1.5, knowing the starters aren't going to be in, it's very, very interesting here. Johnny K in the house. Slow Jams Arsenal says, is there a battle to back up Joe Burrow? If so, I like Cincy. Yes, let's talk about all of that. We're going to start with the Colts. Colts opened up the preseason. Oh, no, we're going to talk cash. Let's talk cash flow for this one. Cash flow in Colts, Bengals. 67% of the tickets and 93% of the cash is on the Indianapolis Colts. And the lines move from 1.5 to 7 here in a second. It'd be hard to bet against that, and it would be irresponsible to bet on that. I have seen articles on the Colts at -6.5, and that's irresponsible. I don't know how someone could write an article on that. Really, what are you saying to people that read your stuff that it's okay? I missed this line move by 5 points, but implied probability is still there. I mean, if you're going to write an article about taking a favorite after a 5-point swing, I can't believe there's an editor who would print that shit. 39% of the tickets, 30% of the cash on the over. So we have 61 and 70 on the under. Not a very big move towards the under. So Steichen and the Colts. They opened up the preseason with that 34-30 loss at home versus the Broncos. 5 quarterbacks saw action in that one. So, of course, Anthony Richardson, then Joe Flacco. There's the 1-2. Then you have Sam Ehlinger. It's the 3. Quarterback 4 is Slovis. And then 5, QB 5 is Jason Bean. We know that no one's going into the season with 5 quarterbacks. So Slovis or Bean is going home because we expect Ehlinger to just be the, practice squad quarterback. But we'll see how this all bangs out. They followed that up with a 21-13 win over Arizona when they rested their starters. Ehlinger started, and Jason Bean came in with 4 minutes left in the second quarter. Slovis came in with 13 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Steichen said the starters will play about a quarter and a half in this matchup with the Bengals. So we're going to see Anthony Richardson, who's not looked good in the preseason. We're going to see Joe Flacco, supposedly, before they give away to Sam Ellinger to close things out. Nunya says the Colts are trying to prove something, and Skunt Blaster not afraid at all, back in the Colts at 6.5. So that's what we are led to believe, that it goes Anthony Richardson, Flacco, and Ellinger. Skunt Blaster says Colts have scored more than 20 points in last 4 preseason games. Colts are playing starters in the second quarter. Bengals haven't scored 20 points in like the last 5 preseason games, and Flacco comes in late. It's legit, and it's fair to have that angle, but seeing the move so violently, it's a monstrous move. So let's talk about Zach Taylor. He doesn't care about the preseason. Hasn't won a preseason game since 2022. Bengals opened up the preseason losing at home 17-14 to the Buccaneers before losing last week badly 27-3 at the Bears. In game 1, we saw a little bit of Joe Burrow before we saw a lot of Browning and Woodside. Then Browning is dealing with an injury now. He didn't participate in the joint practice that these teams held on Tuesday. He's dealing with a rib injury, so he's not going to be there, which means that all we're going to see is Logan Woodside and Rocky Lombardi. We saw Woodside for 2.5 quarters of that 27-3 loss at the Bears, and Rocky Lombardi came in late. Woodside was moving the ball, but he had 2 interceptions, which I'm sure is eating at him, finishing 17-25 for 132 yards, 0 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. So let's set this up. You have the Colts on the road, who are going to be using starters against the Bengals team that doesn't care. You have this monstrous move towards the Colts, and then you have a quarterback in Logan Woodside who's probably championing to get back out there after the 2 interceptions that did not look very good. So then Clark Edge has this thing. He says, does this line movement make you want the over now? And it does. It does. Now, should you have a rule in place here that if the line movement makes you want to bet the over, that you should just not bet because we know how often unders are hitting? Or do you look at the fact that there is now 41% of the tickets and 32% of cash on the over and think, good God, everybody knows how many unders have been hitting. I mean, it's the first thing that you read in every article. If that's the case, then, why wouldn't you sort of trust the amount of tickets that are coming in on the over? And then if that's the case, would you prefer to back the first half when at least that's when the Colts starters are going to be in? And if the Bengals aren't playing any of their starters, that means that and this is something that the Bears have been taking advantage of, when it is third stringers on third stringers, it's going to be the Bengals third stringers that are exhausted, not the Colts third stringers. Paul Thompson, we are going to talk about the King's Plate tomorrow. But good God, would I love to go up to Woodbine after the show and hammer the card. God, Paul, I would love that. Let's take a look at the situation here total-wise from first half to full game. The first half is 17.5, and the full game is 34. I mean, that's interesting that despite the Bengals playing backups against the Colts, and also the first half is the Colts -6, because in all honesty, if Joe Flacco's in there, you think he's going to be airing things out? I mean, he's not. So Anthony Richardson hasn't looked very good in the preseason, so he's going to come in, he's going to want to look better. But then this game's going to come down to, and some people say it's going to be Ellinger versus Woodside, or Ellinger, with Browning out, then Ellinger versus Rocky Lombardi. But what if it isn't? What if it's Slovis or Bean, who know that they're not going to have a game here in a while? They're not going to have a team here going up against Rocky Lombardi, who's fighting for his life to make the practice squad. Yes, Daryl Turner. Well, right now, my only CFL action is the Rough Riders +3. And we'll be talking about that soon, Daryl. I love the Rough Riders +3. Earl Sports Bets says week 3 overs. Says under went 14-2 last week, and the public seems to be on every under this week. This is where we see under bettors get crushed. Points, and more points. Very, 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 very interesting, Earl and Clark Edge. It is a really, really interesting look to move on the over. With all these unders coming in, putting the perfect record in peril. I did not think that I would be leaning towards it. And then it's interesting that the total is not different first half than full game. It is not fun being on an over in preseason football, but I wonder if I get here. The over is a possibility. Earl Sports Bet says week 3 has been the highest scoring week of the preseason since they've changed it from 4 to 3. Totals are the lowest it's been this preseason, averaging around 34 compared to 36.5 last week. It's a very interesting looking spot. And Saturated says chest out, taking the under here. Look, I get it. And Kong's Clip saying ESPN made a big deal about the historic unders in play this season. Wow. It's a very, very interesting way of looking at things here. To move on the over. And as we go into the game script, they're making it sound like it's Richardson, Flacco, Ellinger. I'd be surprised if we don't see Slovis, or Bean out there. And these guys are playing for their lives. We know that Rocky Lombardi is going to get a lot of run, and he's playing for his life. I mean, he's playing for a job. I mean, I just don't think it's going to be constant running the ball. Justin McKelvey says, I've heard enough. Moving on to 34.5 after the show. Justin, I kind of want the market to continue to marinate. I'm surprised that we're seeing as many tickets on the over. Wow, it's fascinating. It's very interesting stuff, Earl. A lot of food for thought here. But Woodside, who's been moving the ball well, has a lot to make up for after those 2 interceptions. Okay, I find that over very interesting. Let's move on to game 2 here. Chicago Bears at Kansas City Chiefs. This is the most fascinating. Oh, and we have Earl already on the over 34.5 at even money there. Interesting. Earl Sports says, I however, like this Bears over more than the Colts over. Earl's on the Bears team total over, full game over in this one. Bears team total over in the full game over. I'll tell you what. If every article is on the Chicago Bears, if everybody has seen the Chicago Bears outscore their last 2 opponents, the Bills and the Bengals, by a combined score of 60-9, why on earth has there been a market move towards the Kansas City Chiefs? I mean, that's where we have to start here. OG Double says, here's the deal. Andy Reid doesn't like running the ball. He likes to run screen passing, so be on the lookout for that. He says, I like the over. Robert Franklin on the over 32. Let's talk about this stuff. 77 Fahrenheit clear, 10 miles per hour. Let's get into the line history because it's astonishing that there's been this move towards the Chiefs with everything that you're reading and everybody on the Bears. First off, this total is at 32. This opened up at 36 and has dropped all the way down to 32, an extremely low total. From a point spread standpoint, we have Kansas City right now at +1, -104. This opened up at +2.5, -105. This was on Monday morning. And then early afternoon on Monday, this was a 3. Then Tuesday morning, 48 hours ago, this was a 3.5. At 10:55 a.m., this was +3.5 on the Chiefs. At 1:31 p.m., Pinnacle moved this 2 points in the Chiefs' favor, and they continue to do that with everybody on the Bears and all the articles on the Bears. From a total side of things here, Oh, sorry, we've done that. From it, let's go to the cash flow. Oh no, I meant to do the money line. Sorry, I'm tripping. On the money line, we have the Chiefs right now at plus 106. They opened up at plus 123. Then they got up to plus 175. At 12:26 p.m. on Tuesday, this was plus 175. An hour later, it was plus 111. You have to think that somebody in the know has a game script that they've created that they believe in fully that is different from all of the articles and the gambling public. Let's go to the cash now. This cash has 56% of the tickets, 62% of the cash on the over. It's dropped to 32.5. On the spread, 39% of the tickets and 72% of the cash is on the Chiefs. On the money line, we get no information, but go back to that spread. 61% of the tickets and 28% of the cash on the Chicago Bears. BJ says pretty simple here, Jim. Chiefs money line or nothing. It's very interesting when you see all the articles on the Bears. That's why this needs to be broken down in my estimation. Earl says he's not asking the Bears to win this game, just score 17 like they have in every preseason game under Eberflus. So Jams Arsenal's on the Bears, 3-0 against the spread, ripping slinging that damn ball. Saturate says Bajent will move the ball. Kansas City Bears over for Ron Crawford. DC Capper on the over 32. And Saturated says the Bears D is a big reason why they've been blowing teams out. I don't think they're going to risk any of the defensive studs. KC should be able to score too. Ron Crawford says over. Matt Eberflus is now 7-2 in 3 years of preseason football. That includes a 3-0 run this year. Of course, starting in that 21-17 Hall of Fame game win. I mean, it didn't go 55 minutes, so it didn't matter what bet you had in the books. They voided it. And they have destroyed the Bills and the Bengals over the last two games, 60-9. The Bears defense has looked very strong. They held the Bills to 3.1 yards per play and the Bengals to 3.8, and that's what Saturated is talking about. The Chiefs' second string offensive linemen have looked really bad. And if the Bears were playing, if this was the third preseason game and not the fourth preseason game for the Bears, maybe they would want another look at some of their strong defensive talent that we know that they're going to have this year. That's not the case. So maybe the second string offensive lineman for the Chiefs can look a little better here. Against Buffalo, Caleb Williams delivered. He had 2 field goal drives. He went 4 for 7 for 95 yards. Then we had Bajent, Rippon, Reed. Against the Bengals, Caleb Williams ran for a TV, led a field goal drive before Bajent and Rippon took over. We're not expected to see any of the Bears starters tonight, nor are we expected to see any of the Chiefs starters. So you have to think for the Bears, Bajent and Rippon have looked really good. Bajent has the inside track of the backup job, although there's a thought that there's a battle taking place. If it's just Bajent and Rippon, then yes, the Bears are going to win this game. But there has to be Austin Reed out here. There has to be, doesn't it? Earl Sports says, feels like this line move when they announced no Bears starters. Yeah, in the articles and judging from the cappers out there, they know this. The fact that the Bears have been so dominant in the first couple games and now head out on the road, the Hall of Fame game, was on the road. And Satcher says even Reed, Austin Reed looks good, and that's fair. Let's talk about the Chiefs here. 46-49 is Andy Reid's preseason record over his career. They opened up with a 26-13 loss to the Jaguars. So we see Patrick Holmes for a drive, then Carson Wentz, Book. And South Dakota State Jackrabbit Chris Oladokin, who has looked really good. Oladokin right now is the expected third stringer over Book. So these two guys are really battling. We expect Book and Oladokin to get almost all of the run here. So if it's Book and Oladokin versus Bajent and Rippon, there's no way that this market would be moving towards the Chiefs. There's no way. The fact that this line's moving towards the Chiefs means it's got to be Austin Reed. It's got to be Austin Reed. Everybody has seen the Bears dominate in the preseason. And here we have this market move towards the Chiefs. It's very, very interesting. Bet Online has the plus 105. They opened this up at plus 125. This got up to plus 175. Then we have the sharp book like Bookmaker. Bookmaker opened this up with the Bears at minus 190. Bears are now minus 121. This is just I don't see how we don't move on the Chiefs in this. It just feels like late. Oladokin, the Chiefs at home, will win this football game. And it probably lands very close to that total. Let's go back to the amount of tickets on the Bears again. 61% of tickets, 28% of cash. I mean, Eberflus is standing back saying, job done. That's what he's doing. He's saying, job done. We had a great, great preseason. We dominated. Earl says, maybe if you like the Bears, it's a first half play. I don't believe, I'd have to go back because this is only my third year of, and I haven't even been hammering preseason full time because, baseball's just got me not sleeping at night. But I don't think I've ever backed to Andy Reid in the preseason. But doesn't this feel like the right time to do it? Doesn't it? It really does. It feels like the Bears have taken their foot off the gas. Saturday says there's still some roster decisions made on the Bears O-line and running backs. Wow. I'm surprised about all of this, but okay. When the show's over, I move on to Kansas City Chiefs. But do I move on the over in Indianapolis, Cincinnati? That's going to take more time. I'm going to have to sit with that longer. I'm very interested in it. But something is telling me that the Chiefs should be bet here. And it's not that the announcement from Eberflus, I think there's more to that. I don't think anybody thought that the Bears were going to be using their starters here when it's their fourth preseason game. I think there was some legitimate action on the Chiefs side that scared the books. And now they're making the Bears. You know what? The Chiefs for me tonight, and I don't know if I get to the over in the Colts Bengals game. And I think that there's a lot more concern in that. I mean, I think it's going to be right around the number, but do you really, really want to be looking for an over and have Slovis and Bean going up against Rocky Lombardi? And the answer is no, you don't. And then you see only a 17.5 in the first half. All right. I'm with you, Mikey Money. So I'm with you. And Willie Contreras is the ribeye play of the day from our Mikey Money. So that is NFL breakdowns. We're going to get into CFL, which I'm really, really excited about. It might just be the Chiefs for me in NFL. Let me get off of the... Jose, if you could get us off the NFL standpoint, because we are going to celebrate. We are going to celebrate ribeye here. Ribeye play of the day is... Oh, and Slow Jam says double up if you feel that strong. Cash it. No, you don't. I don't double up in preseason. Like, you have an angle and you just go with it. These aren't full regular season unit sizes either, even though I've gone 5-0 and crushed them the last 2 years. Maybe next year it should be. William Contreras at plus 175 ribeye. All right, that is copied and pasted here. Let's move on. Christian Rivas in the house. Nice to see you, Christian, man. Been too long. Christian Rivas. I love to see it. Thank you for joining us. Let's move on to the Canadian Football League. This is a very important week for me. I feel like I'm seeing things clearly, and the double up on the unders last Thursday hurt badly. But then we went 2-1 the rest of the day. Let's get to work here. We start at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. Now, we have Nuke's Gamma Ray play today on the Rough Riders, +3 at -110. +3 at -110. But we have Earl on the other side. Argos -130. Argos team total over 25.5 and full game over 49.5. Now, I respect Earl very much as a capper, but if somebody is on the other side of me, I want to be able to poke holes into what they're doing. And here, Earl, the Argos are coming off the bye week. So 2 weeks ago, Earl delivered. He cashed everything on the Argos against the Stamps. He cashed everything. Team totals, overs, he got everything. Everything. Oh, like Benjamin Mills says, man, expect to fire Scott Service. I love it. So I put that there. And then also he was on Rourke, who failed to deliver. Now, the reason why I wasn't on Rourke and I'm not on Chad Kelly is because they have not been with the team. That's the main reason. When you have a quarterback who gets hurt, like Trevor Harris. Trevor Harris hadn't played since week 3. He's been on the sidelines every single football game. Every single game he's on the sidelines trying to help out Shea Patterson. So what happened when he came back? Look, I think Trevor Harris is a check down king. I think he's a pedestrian. But he threw for 355 yards. He went 31 to 39 with 2 touchdown passes. I want the Rough Riders badly here. Now, look, I have a $500 bet on the over 9.5 wins for the Argos, a spot I was very confident in. To think that they would go 5-4 without Chad Kelly means I'm going to cash that shit. I'm going to cash it, which is great. The problem is I also have 500 on the Elks over 7.5 wins, which looked lost. Now they're 3-7. Maybe there's some hope. Obviously, a very tough situation for them this week against the Alouettes. 71 Fahrenheit, partly cloudy, 6 miles per hour at BMO Field. These Argos are 4-1 at home. The Rough Riders are 2-1. And, I've got the opportunity to cap with Earl for a long time. Part of the fun is not agreeing with each other. I have enormous respect for his capping acumen, but that doesn't mean we need to agree with each other. I think that the number one angle in this football game is cappers glorifying, romanticizing the starting quarterback returning to the Toronto Argos. I got upset when I read my colleagues saying, when the Argos lost badly in Saskatchewan, and it was, Cameron Dukes threw 4 interceptions, saying these are who the Argos are. The Argos are a good football team. Now they're dealing with some serious injuries on defense that affect them very much. Now they've been very good against the run. I think that's going to change. Now we saw the Elks gash them, but that could be an outlier performance. 276 yards on the ground. Right now, the Rough Riders are +2 at -106, and that's what I needed. I did not want this to finish at 3. We talk about the importance of these spots at 3. The Argos this morning got to -3 at -107. That was at 11:50. That was 2.5 hours ago. If we did the breakdown and the Argos were at this number, I would be concerned, but I would stick to my belief that people are romanticizing Chad Kelly coming back, and he's not been on the sidelines, and he's not a studious guy. So it's not like he's been, knee deep in the playbook for the last 9 weeks. I could be wrong, but I do not believe that's him. So -3 at -107, 11:15 a.m. At 11:32 a.m., this -3 was a +111. At 11:34, this was a 2, which is where it is right now. I love that move. That's such a huge move for my action. On the totals, we're sitting here with a 50. It's minus 111 to the under. It opened up at 50.5. It's 50. I'm not going to double down on the under. I respect that you guys are on the over, but I tell you what, if my bet is based on Chad Kelly not delivering, obviously I think the under is in play, despite how horrible these pass defenses are. Goran says Elks win 5 more. Good God, would that be very important for me? Earl says one mistake with Rourke was he was working and playing 4-down football. Maybe it took him time to adjust, and someone who won most outstanding player in the CFL last year. Look, most outstanding player 2 years ago was Rourke. Last year was Chad Kelly. It's a legit here spot here. It's legit. Markel says, would you take the money line? Yeah, I'd have no problem taking the money line. And Earl says, is anyone else on Toronto? I haven't seen anyone on the Argos. Part of that, Earl, is that the very first thing I said on Tuesday with Loshak in the bag was bet the Rough Riders. So I've been trumpeting the Rough Riders horn all week. Now, we don't have ticket counts, but you would have to think that this would be on the Argos and Chad Kelly coming back and the Argos off of a bye and all that. Now, I don't have any proof of that. Rough Riders coming off a 27-24 loss at home to Montreal. Everything that could have gone wrong went wrong. Look, I'm very thankful for it. I was on the Alouettes. I got a bad line. I'm very thankful for it. But the Rough Riders should have won that game. They had 433 yards of net offense compared to just 318 for the Alouettes. Brett Lowther missed 4 field goals. They're saying all the right things in the media, not putting the loss on Lowther's shoulders, but it was his fault. Not only did he miss 4 field goals, but James Letcher brought one back 128 yards to the house. I mean, that completely cost their team, and that changed all of the momentum in that football game when Letcher Jr. brought it all the way back to the house. And Lowther misses the field goal to tie the game up. And in that spot, if Letcher had have kneeled, I lose. That's a point. Letcher ran the ball out of the end zone, and it was very, very fortunate. So Lowther misses 4 field goals. The Rough Riders dominate, but they lose to the Grey Cup champs who have all the intangibles in the world. Trevor Harris, 31-39, 355 yards. AJ Ouellette returns for 111 total yards. I want AJ Ouellette out there because he's going to run right into the teeth of the defense. And AJ Ouellette did not re-sign with the Argos. He played his career with the Argos. AJ Ouellette is going to want to smash this front 7 or 6 in the mouth. Nonstop. Dante Myers caught 8 passes for 101 yards. Keyshawn Johnson caught 5 passes for 90 yards. The injuries to the Rough Riders playmakers on the outside are the reason why we're concerned that they weren't going to be able to score. Was one of the reasons why I faded them last week. Ajo out as well. So seeing Dante Myers and Keyshawn Johnson step up is a big deal. Corey Mace is doing a hell of a job coaching this squad. Last year, this defense was abysmal, abhorrent, horrific. This year, they look now like that same defense. And Corey Mace is a defensive-minded guy. He's trying to change this defense. The Riders allowed 30.3 points per game in the last 3 games. That's not good. They're second last in the league, allowing 304.1 yards per game. You know who's worse than them is the Argos. These are 2 bad pass defenses. So you would think, well, they're going to be throwing the ball nonstop. This game soars over, and Chad Kelly shows why he was the most outstanding player. Look, that's possible. I just don't think he's capable of doing it in his first game back, just like Rourke was incapable of doing it in his first game back. So here we go. The Argos lead the CFL with 123.9 rushing yards per game and 5.5 yards per carry. That's because they didn't trust Cameron Dukes and they didn't trust Nick Arbuckle. And so many of those yards were from Cameron Dukes. Not being able to find anybody and having to run the ball. I do not sit here and believe that Argos are the best rushing team in the league at all. Not for a second. And I like Kadeem Carey. I do not believe it. Yes, Toronto's pass defense has been very weak. Trevor Harris will take advantage of that. And listen, Wynton McManus, their star linebacker, their star defensive tackle, Jared Brinkman, they're hurt. And it's going to destroy the Argos in the end. Why were they able to beat the Stampeders? Because the Stampeders lost Dedrick Mills and have no running game. Nothing. So the Argos were able to stay in nickel and dime packages for every single play. They can't do that with AJ Ouellette out there. There you go. Oh, yes. Ron Crawford is on the Argos. Great call, Ryan. You're right. So Earl Sports, Ron Crawford, two spectacular cappers are on the other side of me. I'm on the Rough Riders and can't wait to watch it. That is Canadian football. I would kind of like to stay away from the total in that Colts-Bengals game. I would be pretty excited if my only action in the NFL is the Chiefs. We'll see how it bangs out. The Rough Riders for me. And then, of course, we got 3 more games in the NFL tomorrow. We got 3 more games in CFL tomorrow. We're going to be hammering moves. And also, Wine Time Sports will be on breaking down college football, his best bets for week 1, which we will cut out and have on our website. Gordon Nkowski says AJ Ouellette is not playing. Let's just get over here. I mean, we know that Hinkson can do the job, but I went over the injury reports yesterday. I know he looked hurt at the end of the last game. AJ Ouellette is out with a hip injury. Wow, maybe that's why it went to 3. I mean, he was limited at practice on Monday, so I thought he'd be good. I didn't think it mattered that he wasn't there on Tuesday. Wow, that's big. That means it's going to be Hinkson, who you love. Wow, that's interesting. And maybe that's what moved it to 3. So even the idea that it's gone back to 2, wow, that's huge, Goran. Damn. Hickson's running back number 1. Wow. God. When he was at practice on Monday, I was like, okay, well, at least he's going to be good. Wow. That is wild. Also, Ajo is back, which is helpful. Wow. Even Kean Schaefer-Baker could play. I didn't realize that. I didn't think he would be. Wow, he has been in full Monday and Tuesday. I thought that he was not going to be available. Wow. Wildly interesting. Thank you for sharing that. I did not know that was the case. Okay. G. Martinez says, I can't tell you how Kelly's going to play. I can tell you this. I don't trust Chad Kelly. That's why he's not in the NFL. Because of up here. So let's see what he does with 9 weeks sitting on his ass and not being with his football team. Okay, let's move on to college football. We have week 1 action. Please welcome to the show, fresh off a 60+% against the spread in college basketball, looking to carry that over this year into college football. Joining us from Dallas, Texas, the star of Medicaid Mondays and the star of our brand new show every Saturday starting in 10 days, The Tailgate. And we'll be starring in 3 days on our first live stream of the year, the Dublin game. Please welcome Dabra Cadabra to the show. Dabby, how are you?
Man, Jimmy, what a treat we have on Thursday next week for college football early. Don't get me wrong. I'm like everyone else. I'll bet some action. But a big matchup like this, a big ACC matchup early on a Thursday, it doesn't get better than this, man.
This is the game of the night next Thursday. There is no doubt about this. And we get a week to marinate with this action. Let's get into the line history here. We are going to look at both Pinnacle and Bet Online. If you are looking for a new book, we have links to MyBookie, to Bet Online, to Bovada. We have Prize Picks. We have that all on our website. And great deals with MyBookie and Bet Online. Bet Online, by the way, 100% bonus up to $1,000 for a new account. And it doesn't have to be Bitcoin. Here at Pinnacle, Daby Cab, 2 new quarterbacks running the scenes for these 2 teams. This line has not changed a cent. It opened up on Monday night at 8:43 p.m. with the Golden Gophers as 2.5-point favorites at -116, and it has not moved. Let's take a look at Bet Online. Bet Online is sitting here with a -2.5 at -117. Now we've had movement here. This opened up back on May 24th at Bet Online. And shout out to Bet Online for getting those lines out first. -1.5, -110. There was a point move on June 3rd to 2.5. And it stuck there. Now, on August 13th, This moved to minus 125 on the 2.5 to the Golden Gophers, which you expected a 3 was going to come, but there was 8 cents of buyback towards the Tar Heels. So we haven't had a lot of movement, so much so that Pinnacle has not moved it at all. Let's get into the total for this one. From a total perspective, we have a 50.5 at Pinnacle. Again, this is not moved. It's moved 2 cents to the under since this came out. 2 cents. That's it. Over at Bet Online, we have this total at 50. Now it's juiced to the over, and this opened up at 50.5, dropped to 50, got back up to 50.5, and is sitting here at 50. So a very slight move to the under. We have not been getting any cash flow information here from the Action Network, who we rely on for the cash flow information. That hasn't changed. We have no information on what's going on week 1. Obviously, we pay for the service, Action. So please give us some numbers as soon as possible, or we en masse will cancel our Action membership. Sons of bitches. Here we go. Now, one other interesting thing here in Huntington Bank Stadium in Minneapolis, Minnesota, is we're a week away, Daby Cab. If you look at the weather in a week, it's not good. 71 Fahrenheit, rain and thunderstorms, 11 mile per hour winds. The winds are a little stronger earlier in that evening, or around 4 or 5 o'clock local time. It gets about 14. 2-0 Nats. Let's go, BJ. We have it dying down the wind throughout the night. So halfway through the game, it's just 8 or 9 miles per hour. Now, do we sit here and believe that the weather is going to be like that in a week? Again, this August 22nd. This game pops up August 29th, but right now it's rain and thunderstorms. North Carolina beat up on Minnesota last year, but do we care at all? We'll let Daby Cab explain if he cares at all what happened last year. Drake May, of course, led the Tar Heels. They won 31-13. So in comes Max Johnson, a quarterback you know very well, Texas A&M and LSU transfer. I'm looking forward to your breakdown of Max Johnson. We know Omarion Hampton is an absolute monster at running back and will lead this offense. Here is a big week 1, all eyes on him start for PJ Fleck at home, and he has Max Brosmer at quarterback. 4 seasons over 5 years. He redshirted 1 year, medical redshirt. After 4 seasons, 5 years at New Hampshire, Max Brosmer comes in. And thank God. Ethan Kaliakmanis was a disaster last year, and he was a disaster when these two teams met up. 11 for 29 for 133 yards in the pick. Last year, there were only 23 teams in America that had a worse scoring offense than the Golden Gophers, 20.9 points per game. We're expecting that to change in a hurry. Everybody in Minnesota is expecting that to change in a hurry. There's a lot of belief in Max Brosmer. Take it away for us, Daby Cab. Tar Heels, Golden Gophers, North Carolina, Minnesota.
Yeah, I don't put much stock into last year. Minnesota seems to be ready for this game. They're gonna seat 50,000 in the stadium. It's not going to be an easy place to play. They've already announced it's going to be a gold out, so it'll be a cool sight to see. It's always fun to see when teams do, whiteouts, gold outs, blackouts, whatever it may be. Darius Taylor, he was named MVP by Coach Fleck at the Quick Lane Bowl, coming back at running back, as a sophomore. They expect him to have a good season. They expect him to lead this offense. You touched on Brosmer, the New Hampshire transfer. I'm going to be honest. I've only seen his numbers. I have not actually got to watch the kid play yet, just because I haven't watched New Hampshire football. Forgive me for that. But yeah, they're expecting him to be a solid QB here. So they know what they're getting. And if you look at their offensive line, they've got 5 starters returning on the offensive line. And then on the defensive side, they've got 6 out of their 8 defensive line starters coming back. So you got a lot of production returning. And that all sounds great. Sounds beautiful, right? But last year, the Gophers, they were one of the worst third down defenses in college football. When teams ran the ball on them on third down, they were giving up 4.6 yards per carry. And when you're talking about, 3rd and 2, 3rd and 3, 3rd and 4, you cannot be giving that shit up on the ground. Excuse me, trying to keep the cussing out for these cuts. You cannot be giving that up on the ground. You just can't do it. They were giving up 40% of their third downs. just letting offenses just extend their drives too often. And then on the offensive side of the ball, they were 24th worst scoring offense in college football. So a lot of returning production, but that's kind of counterproductive if you're not returning good production, right? And now let's look at the other side here. Talking about Mac Brown and the North Carolina Tar Heels here. This is Mac Brown's 6th season as a head coach. You know, I got to imagine, Jimmy, he's starting to form somewhat of an end game. He can't be thinking he's going to be there for too much longer. He's getting old. You know, I've watched him almost my whole life, it feels like, coach. And you touched on Amari and Hampton. He might be one of the best running backs in the nation this year. He really is that talented. And I wouldn't be surprised at all if Minnesota, especially with the weather that you're talking about, I wouldn't be surprised if they stack the box. I'm talking like 8 people close to the line of scrimmage here. And if they do, the onus is going to fall on the QB. What you talked about, Max Johnson, I think he'll be getting the snaps here. They've got other options, Connor Harrell, Jacoby Criswell, but Johnson will be the guy. And I do not think Johnson's elite. Okay. He's not somebody that I put as a top tier quarterback. However, I do think that he's somebody with a running back like Hampton. If you're stuffing the box, he will beat you over the top. And I know Brown. I've watched him coach, like I said, almost my whole life. And what I expect him to do is I expect him to run, and then he's going to hit these deep. He's going to have some over the middle plays early in this game that I think are going to gash this Gophers defense. So I'm going to take North Carolina early here. Full transparency, I don't have a number offered yet on my book. I will get it probably in a day or two. So whatever the best line is, you can take, and I can tell you what I get as soon as I bet it.
So this is UNC first half on the spread or the money line?
Spread. I'm going to take the spread. It should be +1.5, maybe +1. I just genuinely think that, especially early on, Minnesota's they're going to have their eyes down. They're going to be looking for Hampton, and Johnson's going to hit them over the top. I really think it'll happen early.
Let's lock you in on this first half. Yes, we have a +1.5 at -110, +1.5 -112 at Pinnacle, +1.5 -110 at Bet Online. Does that work for you?
Yeah, let's take it.
All right, Cab is locked in. Cab is on UNC first half +1.5 at -115. I love it. North Carolina Tar Heels, Minnesota Golden Gophers, Huntington Bank Stadium, Minneapolis, Minnesota, Thursday, August 29th. Daby Cab has moved on the Tar Heels. First half, +1.5. Wine Time Sports liking your action. Daby Cab, you are the man. We're going to move on to WNBA, my friend. But the big season ahead, and I will be in touch because you will be a big part of our show here tomorrow. So thank you for all that you do for us, my man.
Love it, man. Hey, I'm going to look at Hampton's rushing yards because I expect Minnesota to stuff the box so much. I might not bet it, but I also might. I will be on props a lot in college football. I love taking player props in college football, so that'll be a big part of it. It's just I don't have the number yet, so I got to wait till I get the number for it, and I'll let you know as soon as I do.
Well, we should go live for this game on Thursday night because we don't have Thursday night football till the week after.
I'm in.
Yeah, let's I'll make a note here to talk to Jeff about the live stream on Thursday night. Daby Cab, excellent work. Let's get this cash today. A lot of opportunities here on the board. By the way, Rockies have the bases juiced against old Patty Corbin with 1 out. This is a turning point type spot.
Ground ball, double play right here.
The turning point type spot here. Nolan Jones at bat. I mean, if you could pick the batter, you'd want Nolan Jones up there.
That's true.
For us, for the Nats backers. Let's see. And 0-1 count for Patrick Corbin. We got the Brewers Cardinals game popping off here. By the way, no score in Guardians Yankees. That totals down to a 5.5. That's +105 to the over. But this is where it all comes to fruition. We are going to move on to the WNBA, Daby Cab. But thank you for rocking with us today. Any last words for the Capper Sport in the show?
Oh man, it's all about you guys, man. I love capping with you guys in the chat. Nunya, Wine Time. Wine Time will be a huge part of the Saturdays also. So I can't wait to work with you, Wine Time. Billy, DC Capper, everybody in there, man. I love you guys. Jimmy, I love doing this with you. I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Respect, my man. Respect. And look, we got Suze. Says Hawaii is a tropical storm coming on Saturday, which will affect the Hawaii game. Not only that, But Delaware State didn't even make it. Double play. Corbin walking off the mound. Woo!
Never a doubt.
There, you never relax with Patty Corbin out there. Wow, double play. Very, 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 very fortunate. Suze, I'm going to be in Hawaii for 48 hours.
Yeah, I love it. It makes me laugh so much every time you mention it. I never am on when you mention it too, but it's so funny to me every time.
48 hours in Hawaii. Suze.
When is it again?
September. It's like less than a month.
Yeah.
I leave right after Bankroll Blitz, and I land at 6 a.m. before NFL Pub Hub.
You're gonna be a mess of a human that week, but you're gonna be fucking disgusting at the end of that as well. Your pussy's gonna be drooping out of your jorts.
No.
You're gonna go on that flight just stinking of booze, and you'll come on to the show and it'll be great.
My pussy will never look better. I'll tell you that much. Yeah, one time. No, this is not for fun. It's for Son Dizzle's wedding.
Which is fun. It's fun, but Jimmy's hates it apparently.
Well, I'm just look. I'm an old dude. I just want to just gamble alone in the dark. Suze, I will. Well, I'm coming on. I land. I'm in Maui. It's Maui. It's Paia. I'm in Paia. I don't know anything about this stuff. But would love to hang out. Would love to grab drinks. So I'm in Paia. I get in on that Wednesday at like 2:00 in the afternoon. Wednesday 18th. So let me know how Maui. Yeah, are you on Maui? Let me know how I can hook up. Suze, hit me.
You're gonna be in a tux?
No.
What are you gonna wear?
What I always wear at weddings.
I don't know what that is.
Flower dress? I don't know. Look, I don't know. I don't know what the fuck I'm wearing.
Yeah,
I
we
agree.
get you. We need
Say
to
what?
get you with a picture of a bunch of, you and a bunch of Samoan men in there, like some diesel ass Hawaiians. I need to see that.
Yeah. Goran Nikoski cashing that. Oh no, it was our guy Skunt Blaster with the $50 dono cashes McCartney Kessler.
Fuck
job.
yeah, Skunt.
Nice
That's
job,
what happens. That's what happens. You donate, it gives back to you. The world gives back to you in certain ways.
Okay, let's get into WNBA, and then we race for $150. $150 horse race here. Oh damn, Suze. Okay, I guess it'll be a little longer than 48 hours, Nuke, but not much. So I'm going to spend almost as much time on the airplanes as I will be in Hawaii. But
you're a great friend.
No, his son Dizzle's a great friend. He's a great friend. I could be a problem at the wedding.
Yeah, you have a track record of you causing issues at big group events now.
Well, no, now that I ruined the poker for Tim Steves, I'm gonna have that in my head. I don't ruin back-to-back events.
Okay, but you have a track record now, so there's a reason for people to be concerned. Are you giving a speech?
I don't know. I don't think so. I am a nice guy. Like I was a nice guy. But from gambling for so long, there is a darkness inside of me.
Yeah, and when your pussy gets polluted,
there's just a darkness inside of me. It wasn't there 20 years ago, 15 years ago. It's there now. Let's get to work. Jose, 7 p.m. Eastern, and Ron Crawford has given us the under 174 and Voodoo says the current shirt is your wedding attire.
I mean, that's the goal.
That's the goal.
That's the goal.
All right. That's funny of Voodoo. All right, let's roll here. By the way, we're going to the bottom of the fourth in Guardians Yankees. And it's 2-0 in the bottom of the fourth, and that's
what was your Yankees bet again? -1 full game?
Yeah.
Okay.
Nervous about it. You know, Troy's fire right now, and I should have joined him on that first 5 under 4.5 in Guardians Yankees.
Yeah, shout to you, Troy. Troy, you're probably not watching right now because you're in a bunch of big business meetings and such. But Troy, let me know if it was just like one bad month for you
Because for my like bet tracking shit, I look at my month by month ROI, and I literally only have one losing month, but that one losing month was just catastrophic.
It's always that way.
So I
It's
was
always
just
that way.
interested. Yeah.
July.
May, not good.
Oh, I didn't want to get into it. Okay, let's get to work here in WNBA. We need you guys in the chat. So Ron Crawford's given us the WNBA play of the day. It's the under 174.5 in Dallas Wings, New York Liberty. I had a great night on Tuesday, but I quietly bet, and not for that much, but I quietly bet the Connecticut Sun first quarter and first half, and that lost. It still was a winning night overall and all that, but I kind of felt a little out of my element being so confident in that spot. But there's an angle that I like in this one as well. And you guys probably know what it is. Let's get into this right now. Dallas, New York, these teams just played, and New York just demolished them. Now, what do you want from a team that's a huge favorite in any sport? You want a legitimate reason that they're going to be locked in. Or else they're lollygag. They don't care that much. What was the legitimate reason they were locked in was that Ionescu missed the game with neck injury. So your top scorer is out, and they all stepped up. Brandon Stewart went for 26 and 12. They all stepped up. This great team, the best team in the league, had a reason why they had to be accountable and alert. I don't see that reason here. Let's get into the line history. This opened up with Dallas plus 13.5. It got up to 14, but right now they're just plus 13.5. There's been 6 cents of movement towards Dallas at this number. From a total perspective, this is the lone WNBA game on the card. We have a 176.5. So this total is climbing. We know Ron's on the under. This has climbed 4 points from 172.5 up to 176.5. This got up to 177 this morning. This was at 173.5 at 7:50 this morning. 3 hours later, it's a 177. Now it's 176.5. So we have a big move to the over. Let's get into the cash flow here. From a cash flow perspective, over to WNBA. We have 15% of the tickets and 94% of the cash on the Wings. 94% of the cash on the Wings is silly, but I get it. I really, really get it. We got no information on the total. So Liberty didn't let, they just came out of the Olympics rolling. They've won all 3 games. They've covered them all. They destroyed Dallas by 20. What do you do generally when you have a home and home and the one team gets destroyed in the game one? You back them the next game.
Yep.
And now New York has Ionescu back. We think she's going to play. And let me know in the chat if they think she's going to play. 1-0 Yankees.
Here we go. Yep, rub it. Here we go.
So let's talk about what Dallas did in that game. They got annihilated. Out-rebounded 47-28. I mean, the paint, Brianna did anything she wanted in the paint. They outscored in the paint 44-20. This is the worst defense in the league, allowing 90.6 points per game. That's, 3.6 points per game worse than any other team. DC Capper says the total was 174.5 2 days ago, and it went under by 4.5 points. Saturated, cashing the Judge homer. I love it. So take it away, Jose. But I tell you what, and again, I'm not going to tweet out this stuff. I mean, it's just it's irresponsible. I'm not capping it WNBA when I start tweeting out plays in the last. I don't know. If I start hammering it more, maybe I should. But I want the Wings here. Jose Bouquett, take it away. Wings, Liberty.
Yeah, if I had to play this game, it'd be the Wings for sure. Like you mentioned, back-to-back, home and home kind of situation. They get blown out the first game. You want to back the team the second game. On top of that, you've got the classic star theory. Your star player comes back first game. You want to fade them in that first game because everyone has to figure out their roles again, et cetera, et cetera. So yeah, it'd be Dallas Wings for me.
But you're not going to move on it.
Not officially, no. I might quietly bet it, and I'll just use like half unit bet on it, $10-15 on it to have a nice little sweat. Because I am a subscriber to the WNBA League Pass. How many times have I watched it this year? Very little, but maybe I'll have a reason to watch it tonight.
How much did it cost?
It's like $60. I forget already. It wasn't too bad compared to like what I pay for like the fucking. If I wanted to get League Pass to the NBA, it's ridiculous. And I just paid for Sunday ticket and that bullshit. And that's an arm and a leg right there.
I've got to decide how I'm going to bet it. Even Slow Jam says I would always play the zigzag in this situation. I've got to decide how I want to bet it. I imagine it's the first half full game spot.
Yeah, I guess it was $35. Thank you, Voodoo. Yeah, I like the Wings. Yeah, I agree wholeheartedly. I mean, I just think that, again, you've got a star player coming back. You've got the back-to-back. They're going to want to show some fight after that. I just think it's an easy, not easy, but like I just think this was an easy decision when I looked at the yes, it did. Justin McKelvey. It cost me some units to get me in here. But yeah, I just think this is a good spot for him.
And then how do you bet it? It's a question. Okay. I'll have to look at what I've tweeted out in WNBA and then decide whether I bother tweeting it out. But
I'll say this.
Yeah.
I think WNBA has a lot of big double-digit underdogs cash, if not win outright. So if I was making a full unit bet on this, it would definitely be split between Wings plus 13.5 or 13, whatever you're getting, and money line too.
Oh, no, not for me. Not for me. That's a little too abrasive. But you have everything working in the. I've got to bet this. We have the star player coming back for the Liberty. We have the Liberty just trashed this team. You did, Justin, my man. You did. All right, so I'm going to be on the Wings. I just got to figure out. It's going to be probably first half full game. I don't want to triple up. And I'm going to challenge the Liberty just to do it again. Just keep destroying teams again. Okay, that is WNBA. It is time to race horses. Ron Crawford got 86.77. Oh, I'd love to see that, Ron. Okay, I got to go back and see how many spots I've tweeted out in WNBA, but I probably tweet this one out. I think I got to put my foot on the gas here. Let's roll. Jose, after we race, we'll do a final review of all action. Thank you to all of our gold members. $150 on the line today. The richest horse race in pub sports radio history, taking place on Thursday, August 22nd. Jose, talk to us about our thoroughbred plan. We have 4 heats, the top 3 moving on. Talk to us.
81 handicappers all vying for $150. And there are a select few handicappers in this bunch that, if they win, they'll throw it right back in. And the possibility of a $200 horse race is there. So root for your favorite cappers, root for yourself, and make sure your horse knows about it in the chat. We have 4 heats coming up. This is going to be very, very interesting here to watch. Heat 1. NJ Striker, Juan Chavez, Dutch Boy Fresh, Browns Hughes, Ron Crawford, TJ, Gerald Jones, Jose Bouquett. I didn't know I was in this. Oh no. Nunya, Nasty Nate, Joey Marinaccio, Little Domo, Rez Mob, Zoe Faye, Goron, T, Nuke Worker, E. Burke, Top Set, and Chill Will. Jimmy, all I want to do is finish above Nuke Worker in this race.
Wow.
That is all I want.
Wow.
I'm coming for your neck, Nuke Worker. Coming for your neck here.
Protect your neck,
all right.
Nuke.
Here we go. $150. The first qualifier off in racing here. We have a minute to go here, and I'm definitely going to have to stand for this now because there is a lot of money on the line here. This is, fucking 5-6 times my unit size. So goddamn would this be nice. Little Domo sticking his nose out in the league, and there, oh look, there's Jose Bouquett. Maybe he's peaking a little early, Jimmy, but take me home to the promised land.
I think that's where you want to be. Halfway through the race, showing that you're alert. Oh no, Jose! Starting to dip backward, but Gordon Kofsky also running. There's the Sweaty Butcher in line, just the top three. All you got to do is be in the top three. NJ Striker right there. NJ Striker trying to come home with it. NJ Striker pokes his nose out front. New Corker right there as well. New Corker, Res Mob, NJ Striker, 8 seconds left. Here comes TJ with a big run, and Gordon Kofsky as well. Dutch Boy Fresh moving forward. Jose Bouquet making a huge run late. Jose Bouquet making a huge run, and look at that. Look at that.
Top three.
Wow. Jose Bouquet moves
Come on.
Wow. Zoe Faye was right there. Little Domo, Big T, Joey Marinaccio, the new worker, but Dutch Boy Fresh, TJ, and Jose Bouquet move on to the finals.
Big time cookies right there. That's, you got to put your balls on the line.
Wow.
And they were out there for everyone to see. You hate to see it, Nuke Worker. This is why you don't come for young Venezuelans.
Wow. Very, very, very exciting. Who do we have in Heat 2, Jose? $150, the richest horse race in Pub Sports Radio history. Who do we have?
Heat 2, and Nasty Nate, unfortunately, you did not. You did not. You were in Heat 1. Hated to see that, Nate. But Group 2, O'Brien Palmer, Sam Colmer, Rob Free, Daby Cab, Juan Ruiz, Nutflush Allen, Jimmy the Bag, Dominique Diaz, Truth Teller, Preston Ekdahl, J-Dub, Chosen One, Billy Friedrich, Jay Peasy, Joey Harb, Ken Wood, Nutflush 16, Big Ragu at 62, Bo Jackson, Skunt Blaster, and Kong's Clips. All
before we get rolling, Jose, the bases are juiced in the Bronx. 2 out, bases juiced. Cabrera at the plate.
Oswald. Oh, should be interesting. All right. Well, let's get racing here. Another electric race we have here. A lot of interesting faces. 2 Nutflush family members in this. O'Brien Palmer, J-Dub, Preston Ekdahl, who is notoriously one of the guys. He'll throw it back in here. And our guy, Skunt Blaster, at the top of the screen with a $50 dono. Is that the karma he needed to finish this race? Sam Colmer back there. Who takes it home? Jimmy, you're in here.
I'm right there. So's the Truth Teller. J-Dub with the lead. Nutflush trying to come home with it. Jay Peasy moving forwardly. And Jimmy the Bag is trying to get involved. Can he get there? O'Brien Palmer, Sammy Comer, 18 seconds left. Big Ragu, 62, has the front right now. J-Dub sitting in second. Daby Cab in third, but here comes Sammy Comer moving into third. Skunt Blaster still involved. We are coming to the wire. Sammy Comer pushing home. There's a big move. Jimmy the Bag, come on, push, Jimmy. Dominique Diaz, Nutflush Allen, and O'Brien Palmer, it looks like. Let's see. Yes, Sammy Comer, O'Brien Palmer, and Nutflush Allen move on to the finals. Dominique Diaz was right there. J-Dub, I was right there. Juan Ruiz, a 2-time champion right there. Very exciting horse race, Jose. We have 6, half of the field ready for the finals of the richest horse race in Pub Sports Radio history.
Yes, yes.
And out. Oswaldo did not come through. Good for Troy. We have 1-0 here. 1-0 in Yankees Guardians. 2-0 in Nats Rockies. So low scoring affairs at this point.
All right. Heat 3 here. We are finding our elite horses in the group here, and this is a star-studded field here. Matty Ice, George Wood, Saturated, Picks from Dave, Randall Sheffield, Eldorado Custodian, a.k.a. Jason Meyer, Donut Silks, Big Show Picks, Lexicon, Fanatical Jim, William Bardo, Paul Taylor the Sailor, Ricky Levine, Joseph Thompson, our guy Kent Davies, Sports Money, Coin, Connor Mack Picks, Justin McKelvey, and the sweatiest of butchers, Sweaty Butcher. Oh boy, there's a lot on the line here. A lot of familiar faces in the chat. Who will come down and claim one of the last 3 spots in this illustrious horse race here? 50 seconds, and we've got Big Show leading at first. Matty Ice in the back here, biding his time. Connor Mack picks in the mix here, and the Sweaty Butcher up at the top. This is electric here, folks. We've never had a horse race for this much money. Who is going to qualify for the finals here? Saturated back there, Jimmy. Who has it?
Wow, Mikey Money making a big move. Lexicon, Donut Silks, Randall Sheffield, but Mikey Money wants in on the cash flow. Randall Sheffield still holding out up front. Coin right there. Sweaty Butcher trying to stay involved. Matty Ice on the inside lagging. George Wood right there. George Wood has a chance to get to the finals if he can keep moving forward. Here comes C-Mac, and here comes Ricky. Oh, but Paul Taylor the Sailor takes it home. Ricky moves on to the finals. Randall Sheffield as well. Paul Taylor the Sailor live right now in Vegas. Paul Taylor the Sailor might be $150 richer. Shout out to Paul Taylor the Sailor, Ricky Levine, Randall Sheffield, Joseph Thompson in 4th. Picks from Dave in 6th. C-Mac was right there. Mikey Money was right there. It was a very, very exciting race. And Ricky Levine live for $150. The question I have after this one is, how long is our finals?
That's going to be an excellent question, Jimmy. That is going to be an excellent question. I hope you can marinate on that in this next minute or so, because we have an electric final qualifier here. If you didn't hear your name, you're going to hear it now. And I'm looking at you, Sharon. I'm looking at you. Big O, Julian Cesario, Nate Dogg, Jarek White, BT, Crystal Craig, Johnny Guns, Sharon Pulliam, Philly Eagle Flyer, Kenny Can, Voodoo Ranger, my personal favorite, Helga, Jeff Slaughter, Ricky Bobby, Kelly McInnes, another person I'd love for them to advance, Director 97, the one person I'm rooting against, Fernando Mendoza, Old E, K Wolf, and Boogie Maine, all in this final qualifier. Good God.
Just before our final qualifier pops off, it looks like we have a new nickname for our friend Mike Allen, Nutflesh.
Wow, Nutflesh Allen.
I'm surprised it took so long for Nutflesh to come around. Nutflesh Allen. That's brought to us by Sharon Pulliam.
Thank you, Sharon. Thank you very much. Your complaint or your question was noted, I should say. But we got there at the end. You're making great contributions. I got you, Sharon. All right. Here we go. This is the final qualifier here for the $150 horse race. Kelly, Boogie, Jeff. Can Jeff do it again? Could Jeff possibly do it again here? Let's find out together, everyone. A minute to win it here, ladies and germs. Crystal Craig in the mix here. Director 97, a juggernaut in these horse races out in front right now. Ricky Bobby, Jeff, and Helga both biding their time right now. This is going to be the greatest horse race we've ever seen, folks. Who wants the money here? Who wants the glory of coming and going in an opportunity for $150, Jimmy?
I love seeing Helga in the race. Helga still involved. Director 97 with the lead, but very tight. Crystal Craig, Johnny Guns, Sharon Pulliam, Kelly McInnes right there. Can Kelly McInnes finally take it home? Here comes Ricky Bobby and Fernando Mendoza showing late pace. We know how important late pace is. And here comes K-Wolf flying late. K-Wolf flying late. K-Wolf,
wow.
Johnny Guns, and Ricky Bobby are moving on here. Wow, that was an exciting race. K-Wolf with that late Quebecois heat. Whew. I'd say we go for a minute and a half in the finals.
All right. We're making the horses go through their paces. today. This is going to be an electric horse race. I
The
need
Rockies
to
have scored a run. It is now 2-1 Nats.
the Nationals, these sons of bitches. All right, it's gonna be a fun game to watch as well. Later.
0-0 in Brewers Cardinals after 1. That live total down to 6.5.
Jesus.
And 1 out in the bottom of the first in Tigers Cubs. That total down to 6.5. All live totals right now 6.5, except for Guardians Yankees 4.5.
Wow, 4.5. That's crazy. All right. Well, Jimmy, please introduce these horse races if you can see them. I'm going to send a tweet and let everyone know.
I can. We have Ricky Bobby in post 1. In post 2, Johnny Guns. In post 3, representing Quebecois, K. Wolf. In post 4, Randall Sheffield. Post 5, Ricky Levine. In post 6, we have Paul Taylor, the Sailor. In 7, we have Nut Flush, 16. In the 8th poll, we have Brian Palmer, Sammy Calmer in 9. In lane 10, we have Jose Bouquet, TJ in lane 3, and Dutch Boy Fresh in lane 12, in the 12th post position. They are in a line. They're at the post.
And oh boy, here we go. An exciting race here. $150. I can't believe I'm in this. I can't believe it. I haven't decided if I'm going to throw it back or I'm going to take it myself and spoil Helga with a lovely date. Who knows? Let's find out here. Old Jose Bouquet in the front right now, and I don't like it. But I trust my jockey here. $150. Who wants it bad enough? K. Wolf, representing the Great White North, is up there. I've heard the Edmonton Oilers have had a bad offseason, but not according to K. Wolf. Ricky Bobby, who wants it, Jimmy? Take me home.
Paul Taylor, the Sailor in Vegas as we speak, has the lead. Moving on to the final few furlongs down the back stretch, we have Randall Sheffield now trying to get in front. Dutch Boy Fresh in front. Dutch Boy Fresh trying to come home with it. Randall Sheffield now has the lead. Going into the final 2 furlongs, who is going to be $150 richer? K-Wolf moving in the wrong direction. Randall Sheffield trying to come home. Randall Sheffield trying to come home with it. Nutflush Allen right there. $150 on the line. Who's going to have the late place? Sammy Calmer. Sammy Calmer making a big move. And it is Samuel Calmer. Wow. $150 richer is Sammy Calmer. That's a big score. Hondo Fitty. Ooh-wee. Jose Bouquet just couldn't handle the heat. It's very tight up there. Johnny Guns in second. TJ and Ricky Levine in a photo for third. Wow. Sammy Calmer, who gives so much to us. Sammy Calmer, $150 richer. Mitch Morber says, damn, I just missed it. Just joined. Mitch Morner, this is for our gold members, my friend. But we'd love you to be a gold member, Mitch Morber. We will. Oh, Johnny Guns, there's an objection. There is an objection here from Johnny Guns. The jockey on jockey objection. We're going to have the stewards to take a look at this. Also, the Rockies mumbling and bumbling in the field. What a horrible, horrible decision to run there. Corbin got him. Congratulations to Sammy Calmer. Newcourt says he wins at everything. $150. Oh, the stewards have just returned. Sorry, Johnny Guns. You it was nullified.
They told you to go fuck yourself, essentially, Johnny.
And it looks like they are challenging this. If he gets in, I thought he did actually from the slide. It was a bad tag. It was a bad tag. I think he could easily be safe. It was a horrific tag. I mean, I don't know. Just because the ball gets to the bag first, I mean, people just get lackadaisical. Toglia thinks he is safe and sound here, and he just might be. We are waiting to find out. Corbin, of course, looking confused as always. All right, excellent work, Sammy Culmer. Please get in touch with our friend Sammy and let him know that he's $150 richer. Let's do a final review of all action, and thank you to our gold. Look, the ball was there literally 6 feet before. No, he's safe. I don't know. I have to see it again. It looks safe from that angle. What a horrific play by, was that? Horrible. Okay, let's review all action here. Truth teller on the Brewers cards. First 5 over of 4. And it is 0-0 now, heading into the bottom of the second there. A lot of low-scoring baseball here. Then we have Jared Bush, cards, money line, Yanks under 8. That's in business. Oh, he's out. He's out. Still out. Okay, good. And the over in the Rockies Nats, and that is a low-scoring affair right now, 2-1, heading into the top of the 7th. Thank you to Newberger and to George Wood, who would have donated it all to Pub. Thank you, guys. That means a ton. Sancho is on the Angels money line. Braves, Phillies, first 5 and full. Oh, sorry. Braves, Phillies, first 5 and full game over. Gordon Kofsky with me on Saskatchewan. He's also on Winnipeg money line. UPK Ayashala is on Yanks money line, Orioles money line, Nats money line, Blue Jays money line. Also Marvin Harrison Jr. for Rookie of the Year plus 650. Slatsy's on the Rough Riders plus 3 with me. Got that minus 104. What a job. And Rough Riders Argos over 49.5. Skunt Blaster with a skunt play today. McCartney Kessler money line cashes it. Respect. All right. Then we have the birthday pick to Lamont Williams was the Rough Riders plus 3. I know a lot of you guys moved on it then. It's now 2, which is great. Mally Mal is on Yankees first 5, which he got. Judge hit, which he got. And Yankees over 2.5 runs. All Mally Mal needs is the Yankees to score two more runs, and he catches it plus 135 SGP. Kong's Clips, Bo Nixon, Offensive Rookie of the Year at 13-1. It's a very interesting look. And Jared Verse, Defensive Rookie of the Year at 10-1. And my dude, Judge home run. He got that. Soto, 2 or more hits and 2+ bases, what you need. Moneyline and Cole, 5 or more Ks. Troy Torrance on the first 5 under 4.5 in this one. All he needs is the Yankees not to erupt here in the bottom of the 5th. They have 1 on, and the big boys are coming up. The big boys are coming up, but it's Torres first. Then Justin McKelvey on Austin Wells, RBI at plus 145. Wine time on the Yankees on the run line. I'm on the -1. Also, Nationals money line for wine time. Gift the Cartel on the Rockies money line. Justin Mattel on Rogers over 1.5 bases plus 108. And DC Capper on Washington is his best bet. BJ's all over Washington. Pig Milk play today. Rockies first 5 money line. My dude has Nolan Arenado for over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. Crystal Craig on Willie Contreras over 1.5 bases. Oh, I thought that was a strikeout foul. Then I got in the Nats bet, thank God. Jose's on the Rays. I plan on being under 7.5, but the juice just keeps moving towards them in that under 7.5. By the way, Kong's also on SMU team total over. But that spread's gone from 27.5 back to 24.5. 23.5 up 27.5 back 24.5. Can't wait to talk about that game. Jose's on the Reds money line. My dude's on Skeens over 4.5 hits allowed at even money. And then we have Blue Jays -1.5 plus 140 is the taint play of the day. Daby Cab's on Alvarez over 1.5 bases. Jose's on Astros money line. I have some interest in Astros money line. I don't know if I move on it. Daby Cab is on Harper over 1.5 bases. And I'm on the Braves team total over 3.5. Jose's on the Braves money line, and Stacks play the Ozuna over 1.5 bases. DC Cappers on the San Diego Padres. Daby Cab and I are each on the team total over 3.5. Jose is on Venezuela Little League team and the Padres team total over 3.5 plus 189. And Lamont Williams max bet the Padres team total over 4. Then I'm not sure what to do with this total in Colts Bengals. I'm going to spend more time on it, and we have a walk, 2 men on now with no out. I like it. The Chiefs seem like the move. It feels like the Bears are just cashing in their great preseason and don't care about this spot. But everyone was on the Bears initially. All the articles are on the Bears, even at this number. And the ribeye play today, Willie Contreras. Earl Sports Bets is on the Argos. Argos team total over and the full game over. As we said, Slatsy's on that over full game too. I'm on the Rough Riders plus 3. And Nuke Workers Gamma Ray play days, Rough Riders +3, but Ron Crawford play today is on the Argos -2.5. And Cabby's on North Carolina, first half +1.5. That's in a week. Be fun leading up to that one. WNBA play today is the under 174.5 for Ron Crawford, and I'm on the Wings, and we'll see if that is okay. By the way, the Nats got their first runner on second base with none out, so both the Nats and the Yankees threatening, and I'd like them to do more than just threaten. And Mariners fire Scott Service. I love to see that. Not a fan of him. And we have a hit by pitch, so now runners on first and second. But that was Wood who got hit. Probably would have liked him with the stick in his hands, but we're now runners on first and second with no out. Cheshire Cat, Billy Friedrich, Joey Harb, Mitch Morris says Yankees can score 2 more as long as Cleveland wins. We have a DC Capper, Johnny Guns, Truth Teller, Daryl Turner. I'm on the Rough Riders, Daryl, with confidence. Like it's not fun being on the other side of Ron and Earl and Nicholas Earl, but get through, and it did. Yeah, 1 scores. And he's safe at third, too. Oh, I like it. And that's up 3-1. Slow Jams Arsenal, Anonymous, Cheshire, Justin McKelvey, Voodoo Ranger. Thank you, guys. All of you, thank you for your support. And you gold members, thank you so much. It means so much to us. And Sammy Comer now $150 richer. O'Brien Palmer, Bo Jackson. I hope you had a great, great time, Bo, in Chicago. I was thinking about you when Springer hit that triple to get Jose his over in that game with 2 out in the 9. Thinking of you at that game. So dope. Thank you, guys. AOD, Ronnie Crawford, to all of you. Thank you so much for supporting us here. We truly have nothing without you. Boogie Main, Colts first half -6.5. Wild. That line's still moving towards the Colts, and it's no different first half as it is full game. It's wild. Wildly exciting. And Johnny Gunn says, instead of cash, can we win entrance into the Cappers Contest Survivor Pool? Yes, but we don't want to tell people what to do it's up to you guys. So that will definitely be an option as we move forward, especially when we get the $100 spots. Jose, will you inform our friend Sammy Comer that he's $150, $200 Canadian richer?
Yeah, sure. I'll send him a message.
Beautiful. Thank you guys so much. And Jose, I love that you've turned the corner with your fight with COVID. Do you have any last words to support the show and to support our friends in the chat and bless our action leading us into the future?
Yeah, there's a lot of exciting stuff going to happen. There's, World Baseball Classic dates announced. Very excited. It feels like I'm kind of going back to the site of my trauma, some PTSD, but I cannot wait to be back in Miami in March, early March, because late March, everyone knows Papapalooza. But early March, I'll be there, hopefully, watching Venezuela just open hand slap. I think it's Italy. Forgot Israel and the Dominican Republic are going to open hand just sun them. It's going to be a lot of fun. And that starts today, Jimmy. The Little League World Series team. They don't test, Jimmy. They don't know what we're pumping our kids with. We got a bunch of fucking mongoloids up there that are gigantic. So we're going to win today, and we're going to win our bets. It's going to be a great time, and we're going to be winning cappers very soon. So shout out to everyone. Nuke Worker, I'm coming for you.
4-1 Nats now too, Jose. 4-1 Nats.
Good.
Still no outs. Runners on the corners.
Patrick Corbin, the -1 king. We all know him.
Yeah.
We all know it. What a beautiful day. But let's fucking go, guys. Let's milk these fucking bookies. Let's milk these fucking bookies.
Hopefully I'm wearing this tomorrow.
I hope you are. I hope that you wear it so much that pit stains develop and then we can see them throughout the months. I hope you're wearing that shirt for months. But good luck, everyone. Leche de los bookmakers.